What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to the True Gamer Podcast, a podcast hosted by two gamers for you, the True Gamers. I'm one of your hosts, Eddie, along with my bro, the inverted gamer himself, Sheps. How's it going, bro?
It's going pretty good. It's going pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's going great for me.
Yeah, go on.
Because
you're on the 7th rewatching of the Justice League.
yes, I
Yeah.
am.
One a day you're doing, yeah?
Exactly. I'm keeping up
You're doing 30 for 30.
Everyone was saying that, okay, how can I support the Justice League? How can we ensure that there's a sequel, something like that? Zack Snyder himself tweeted out saying, hey, if you watch the movie, you're supporting us. So I decided to watch it every day for 30 days.
Right, exactly.
That's what I'm going to do there.
Yeah.
That's my Lent thing right there. Where I have to, I'm going to give up
seems,
every other movie.
Seems reasonable to me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone has 4 hours a day they can just throw away to the wind, right?
Right. And I mean, I'm thinking like, you know, you've got your brand new family, brand new baby girl and all that stuff. Is she making Justice League?
I mean,
no.
Exactly.
Right?
She's not the one that's going to fund the thing. She's not going to be the one that holds the camera.
Right.
So
she's not even paying rent.
Exactly.
So why do you have to give her any attention?
I got her that Wonder Woman outfit. And she didn't even suggest to play a part in the next Justice League movie. So I've washed my hands of her completely.
SMC, shaking my controller.
Please let that stick.
We're going to make it a thing. We're going to make it a thing.
No, but the real reason why I'm happy is because two reasons. One, we're here on the True Gamer Podcast.
Yeah, genuinely a highlight of my week.
Exactly. It's really fun to talk about some gaming.
Did you just say exactly? Is that how much you've been watching the Snyder Cut?
I think I did.
I think you said exactly.
I think that's a cross between...
Not like exactly. You were just like exactly.
I think that was a cross between us being gangsters. It's exactly, bruv. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but there was no like... In the end, it's not like exactly.
But
it was like exactly.
Zack Snyderly, you know?
Right. Snyderly.
But the other thing is that my girlfriend gave me another haircut recently.
Yeah, mine too.
And... oh, it feels so good. It feels so great.
Yeah.
Everyone
totally not gaming related unless there's a like chopping mama, you know, like
exactly
a cutting mama.
And everyone's been telling me that, especially because of the stream that I did last night with us, with everyone and whatnot, that apparently this is giving them Inside Eddie Show vibes. Does that give you those kind of vibes?
You know what? Now I think about it, the short hair, yes. You haven't got 50 pounds of hair gel in it, so no.
That's true. I used to have a lot of hair gel.
You did, and also you used to get it cut maybe like once every 10 days.
Yeah,
but I would say you used to get a haircut maybe every 2 to 3 weeks.
Listen,
it felt like it.
I was an on-screen personality. I needed to upkeep.
You're an influencer.
Oh god! Oh boy!
I just hope, if you remember, please roll some of that Minecraft video we did, the 1000k video.
Oh no!
What are we gonna do for 1,000 subs on this channel,
mate? What could
should we remake that?
No,
we'll go to prison.
I was gonna say why did we not think that we would go to prison the first time?
We genuinely got lucky. Plus, there was a ton of like people that could have been. If you haven't seen it, I'm gonna make sure it's linked in the comments below. We made back in the day, a little bit of history when the main channel was Conversations. Previous to that, it was actually the Inside Eddie Show. I was totally behind the camera. Then we did end up doing a podcast, but for 1,000 subs, we made this video where you like Minecraft came to life in this like parking lot in the middle of like North London, and this is why we say like I've been part of the channel for ages, because it's me filming it. I think you can see my elbow in one of the shots. It's my mug's fucking like Steadicam, by the way, was holding my elbows really tight and trying to like move the camera like that. So we'll link that. It's a good laugh. And you'll know immediately what we mean when we say we could have gone to prison. You'll know immediately what we mean. But anyway, I'm feeling good. Everyone said that, and it was quite funny. Everyone's asking for us to bring back the bald Sheps and pencil beard Eddie. I don't know if I would go bald. I would go bald again. It was like a fall over, not too bad.
Yeah,
but like the pencil beard, I feel like is not the way to go.
If I was at home, if I was a James, I didn't go out ever and I didn't see anyone ever.
Yeah,
I'd do it. because I don't have to be embarrassed.
Right.
I have to go to work. I have to see business people.
Yeah.
People in suits with business folders.
This is true. This is true.
and
Your bank branch manager, is that even a thing?
that one as well. I don't know if it is a thing or not. But I need to see people, and they're gonna look at me and they're gonna be like, "What the fuck is wrong with this guy?"
If this was like the first 3 weeks of lockdown where everyone was taking it serious, in fact, I think we were still working, but if everyone else was taking it serious and you were like, frick it, I can take 3 works off everybody else's,
Yeah.
maybe. But then is the difficult solution to the problem.
Yeah.
Do you shave it all off and start fresh? Because I know I've been clean shaven sometime in the last like 10 years since we've known each other, but I think you've always had facial hair, right? Didn't you always?
Yeah, I think I always had facial hair. Do you know the reason why I started having facial hair? I did always have facial hair, that's true. The reason why was because I used to get, when I was a teenager and spotty, I would get spots on my chin.
Yeah.
But that was because I'd like just shaved and then the pores were exposed and stuff like that. But when I had hair there, it wouldn't happen because I guess it just wouldn't get exposed.
Right.
And that was my cure to that. So yeah, ever since I realized that, I was like, that's it. Beard all the time.
Right.
And at the beginning it was pathetic and whatnot.
Yeah, well, it always is.
Yeah.
This actually is a gaming podcast.
Is it?
This, the True Gamer podcast, along with all of our content across both of our channels and having the flagship show over on the Four Pillars Network, is powered by the incredible Super Bros over on patreon.com/conversations. Who do we have to thank?
We have, hold on a sec, let me get the list up one more time.
I freaking hate you so
We
much.
have Diogo Dildo. This is seamless to just transition.
They'll never
right
know.
now.
We'll just chop it and...
Exactly, cut that out. Don't worry about it. God, they won't even see
Don't
this
do
bit
Diogo
right
second
here.
time. Frick that guy. He's already had his shout out.
Isak the Ultimate Comsuck, Carol to Rivia, aka Casper the Friendly Patron, Record Friction, Dan, The Man, Jeremy Renner, that's right, an official Avenger, Martin Scorsese's Master H. Barts 12, the Midget Aloy from Smallville Sabine, the former freeloader Christian, Master Chief himself, Albiscori, Super Sus Ben Fryer, who is a clone of Eddie, the Star Wars Encyclopedia, Adam Sunling, Raj Vanderlin, he's got a plan, guys, you just gotta follow him on One Last Job, and the filthy FIFA fanatic, Joe McCormack. Thank you guys so much for keeping the lights and mics on and the gaming going here at Comroplations.
That's right,
guys.
That's right.
Yeah, so we talked a lot about our hair just there.
Yeah, we did. This is not a hair podcast. Do you think that's a thing?
Was a hair podcast?
Like haircuts and...
There has to be, right?
You'd think, like I could... Do you know what's weird? I can't see it for haircuts, but for like beards, like there's actually a lot that goes into beards and shaving.
Yes.
Like a lot.
Yeah.
Like me, haircuts, as you can probably tell. By the way, I had a haircut as well. Got some trimmers. Was going to do it last night. Totally forgot. This morning, 5 minutes before I came, I was like, oh no, haircut, I'm going to be on camera. Babe, I need your help.
What you said right there was what I used to think back when I was in Inside Eddie shows. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be on camera. So you get the feeling.
Right.
So yeah, your baby came up like 5 minutes before you're going to come here.
But I will say, even just like back and sides makes you feel like a new man.
Especially
So
when you
good.
have to, you sort of deal with it for a bit, right? You're just like, oh, forget about it. We've turned it back into the hair podcast, by the way. You just deal with it and you're like, okay, I'm just going to deal with it. And then eventually you're just like, oh my God, I feel so stressed. I feel so hot.
Yeah.
And then you realize it's because you've got this fucking huge
Mop
head of hair.
on your head,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. But what have you been playing, bro? Let's switch it back to gaming. Have you been playing anything recently?
Yeah, so we've both started streaming on Twitch. Twitch.tv/conversations.
Go over
Seamless
there.
plug.
Follow
Genuinely,
us.
like, I know it's a plug, but, you know, we actually are.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
good fun. It's actually been really good fun. And, you know, we were streaming on Twitch, on YouTube before because that's where our audience is. And then I put up this poll and I did some testing a few months ago, but then we had tech issues and all sorts of stuff. And then we started to stream there, and I think we both like it better for streaming in particular, right? Even though actually we don't pull the numbers that we do on YouTube, the actual experience as a content creator on Twitch is much more seamless.
We're those kind of guys anyway. We have been for a while where we prefer to perfect the experience for you guys.
Yes.
Rather than think about what the numbers are, the money and stuff like that, because that stuff comes down the line, and if that's if you're great, if you're good and whatnot. And we just want to make
expect
it.
to be making money from this?
I mean, you're getting paid.
Yeah, I'll be upfront. Everybody's seen 100% of our Patreon and AdSense and merch stuff all gone. In fact, you're looking at me through it right now.
Exactly.
And then you're looking at the streaming rig through it right now. Like
Exactly.
the camera, the streaming rig, that's pretty much everything we've like
From
earned.
you guys.
Yeah, exactly. So it is cool, and I don't mind pimping our stuff because like it's literally you investing in the content that you like. These mics.
Yeah.
the soundboard, which you probably can't see, but it's there. It's super fancy. Like all of it goes 100% back into the channel. So, but the Twitch experience seems to be a lot better for the people watching and for us. Yeah. So both of it.
And that's what I wanted to.
And the mods, you get a whole new mod window on YouTube. Just get you're a mod.
That's
your name changes to blue.
And that's what I was trying to highlight, is that the experience for you guys is so much better, and there's so much tools for streamers to make the whole experience better. And I'm looking into other things as well. We looked into, what was it, that squad stream stuff. Unfortunately, not available to us yet because you have to be a partner.
We're currently on the road to affiliate, which we're definitely going to hit. We just need to do a couple more streams. I think we need to do one more stream on 4 more days, sort of
3 more streams over 3 different days.
Yeah, something like that. It's a very weird metric that you have to hit, but we're definitely there. So we're going to get to affiliate, and I'm looking forward to, and then I will answer what I've been playing.
Yeah.
Because we have all of our Discord emotes that are taken like from the show where people have capped us and cut us out, and it ends up as an emote on the Discord. Just having them on Twitch, I think, is going to be great. I love the idea of someone new coming and then getting like threatened with a Shep slap. You know, like we don't do that here, kind of thing. So that's going to be really fun. Road to Affiliate's going to be really good. But because of that, I was doing a mic test stream, which is my first one on Twitch.
Yes.
Because I've got Razer Krakens as the headset that I use.
Yes.
And we could not get any other mic to work for some reason with my setup. Like we have, is it the Shure?
It's the other microphone that you used to use before we got these ones.
Which is like entry level pro. These I would say are like pro.
Yeah.
You could use this for most stuff unless you were doing like real high quality ASMR or like actual music.
Yeah.
Like Beyonce level music. You probably would use better stuff than this. That one's like entry level, still pro, still very high quality. You could absolutely get by, absolutely do it, but we could not get it to work.
Just didn't want to work with the PlayStation.
It wouldn't work with the PlayStation. It just wouldn't work.
Nah.
And bringing this to and from, it was going to be a headache.
And also adds a level, a point of failure as well. What if you forget it one day? It's like, oh great, go all the way back home and whatnot.
A cable, or what if somehow something gets messed up or
drops in your bag, something comes out. Too much. It's bad.
Yeah, especially because they've just bought it.
Yes,
you know. So I was like, frick it, I'll just try the headset, and was going to do a 5-minute stream, just boot it up, Ghost of Tsushima for 5 minutes. Anyway, 4 hours later, or 3 hours later, however long it was, we were jamming. We come up with a pitch for like a sequel and then a prequel for the game.
I swung by that stream as well, and I think I swung in an hour in, and I'm like, this is supposed to be a mic test. Yeah. Surely after the first 5 minutes, it's like, yes, it works.
Well, the thing is, for the first 5 minutes, everybody's saying hello. They're like, oh, hey, how you doing? Oh, what we play and sort of thing. I'm like, we could fire up Ghost of Tsushima. Why not? Oh, is this New Game Plus? I'm like, no, it's not New Game Plus because it's on the PS5 now. So technically, there's no first game. So like, we're an hour in before I've got to, by the way, how does the audio sound? And then it was like, yeah, it's good, or the levels are okay. And I'm like, frick. And then you turned up, and then I got like an actual ear that's listening for the audio, and you said it was okay, so good. And then I was playing Ghost of Tsushima, so I kept playing.
All I know is I came in and then I hear you going, oh, I really hate Jin Sakai. He's just the worst character in the world.
That's a direct quote.
Everything else in the world is great. Jin Sakai, though, absolutely hate him. He's just, I want to punch his face.
I'm going to be upfront. I freaking hate all of you because during that stream, everybody was like, you hate Jin. No, everything I said, because Jin wasn't the main focus of the next game, I wanted a prequel, right, about Jin's dad. And I was like, wouldn't it be so much better? Because then when you're playing this game, everything Jin does and how he reacts with quick pitch, it was with the dad.
Yeah.
Turns out that like he would have been pretty much more up for the ghost stuff, which we learn in Ghost of Tsushima that Jin thought he wouldn't be, but actually maybe he was more about winning than how you get there. And that I wanted it to be that Lord Shimura kills him, has him assassinated.
Right.
And that's the twist, and like lives with the guilt, but it feels like he saves Tsushima or he saves the family, whatever. Like it's for the greater good thing. And that's why during the game, he's always trying to get the Khan to kill him, because now the Khan has invaded Tsushima. Tsushima's lost, and he still has to live with the guilt of killing like his brother or his best friend.
He wants to go.
Right, and he wants to go. And then it's like, so why does he adopt Jin and bring him in so close? Because of the guilt of killing his dad, all this stuff, right? Wouldn't that have made Jin such a more compelling character and their relationship more compelling? And it was like, you just hate Jin.
That's what I'm getting from what you said just there. You pitched me the story, and all I heard was, I hate Jin Sakai. That's all I heard.
Yeah, that's the summary for sure. So I started playing that, and it was good fun. And can't believe I stopped playing it. It's so good.
Ah.
Which is I know is going to come as a shock to most of you because I don't talk about that game very often.
You never really do. I'm like, bro, can you talk about something? You just don't talk about games in general.
Right. But also because of the stream and streaming with you, we played some Battlefront last night, which was good. Just jamming with my guys playing Battlefront. We played a little bit of Apex, which I'm not good at anymore.
Oh, we've lost
Battlefront.
the touch of it,
Battlefront, I've still kind of got it. You know, even on maps I don't know. Like, I called out once, like I'd had a really bad game, and I was like 10 kills for like 8 or 7 deaths. Which for me, I was like, I'm having a really bad game, right? Apex, I was just getting annihilated every which way. You know, but so I've been playing that. What about you? What are you playing?
Mate, I've got a really weird story. So I'm playing Days Gone again.
Again?
Yeah.
What is it with you and doing stuff again? Mr. I want new stuff. Watches the Justice League 5 times in a row, then plays Days Gone for the 3rd time.
This is the thing. So I realized for the longest time I've said, old games are old. Who cares about that? Who goes back to old games? It's all about the future.
Also, God of War, like the Ultimate Edition fan.
I think that's what happened. I played God of War and I was like, let me play a few more games. And I'm going to go back to The Last of Us afterwards because of the whole...
Which one?
First one.
Okay.
Just so I can get that father-daughter experience type thing, so, like you said.
See, that one I would have got. If you were like, I went back to play like The Last of Us Remastered. It's also on the PS Plus collection, so it could be free, all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
I would have got. But Days Gone is like a 50-hour game.
So this is the thing. You're gonna find out why, and you're gonna hate me for it. You're gonna hate me for it.
I already hate you right now, so
it's gonna get worse. Everyone's gonna hate me. So I was going through my PSN profiles the other day, and I was looking through my trophies, just having a look to see if there's anything I can clean up, because frickin' Zahir's catched up to me on platinum trophies.
How many are you at?
I'm at 22 and I think he's at 21. And he got 15 in the last 3 weeks. So I'm like, he's going to pass me any day.
He's a monster, yeah.
And I'm like, cool, all right. So I need to get some platinum trophies.
One of them is Persona, I think.
Maybe it might be. It might. And that's like 150 hours, 200 hours to get the platinum.
Yeah.
Right? Anyway, I looked through and I'm like, Days Gone. It says I've only got like 4 trophies.
What?
I'm like,
I end up with half the trophies in the games just by finishing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I looked at them, I was like, I swear there was a bunch of story trophies that are just like unmissable, right? And I looked at them and it doesn't have the trophies for like later on in the game.
Yeah.
It like stops early on in the game. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? And I go and look into my PS Plus, like I look onto my account, look at my PS Plus save file. The only save file that's on my current account is one that's like 3 hours into the game.
Yeah. Wait, but you've played it twice.
Exactly. And you know what happened? So that I figured it out. I fucking figured it out. So when I first played it for the very first time, it was this account that I used, the one that's the 3 hours.
Yeah.
Something happened in between. Now, I remember this being really weird. I remember that I lost my save somehow.
Okay.
And then I started it again. And I played it and I finished it. I was like, cool, done and whatnot. And
this is the lost save.
This one, that was the lost save, but I'd lost it. I didn't know where it was. It turns out I was logged in on one of my old accounts, and I played Days Gone, finished it. All of the trophies are on that account, and they're not on my current account. My current account, the last save that I had was until 3 hours in, so not all the trophies didn't pop.
Well, you're gonna have to play the whole game over again, then.
And that's what I'm doing now. I was like, I can't have this on my record. People are going to see this and they're going to be like, fake gamer. That fucking
People
fake gamer over there.
This guy that talks about Days Gone all the time and all the improvements they made and how good Sam Witwer is and all this stuff.
Think about the guy played 3 hours in. No, I can't have that. I gave recommendations to Dave Bindis.
That's freaking hilarious.
He's going to look at my account and he's going to be like, wait, you didn't actually play the game when you recommended it to me.
You've made me spend money on 3 hours. You barely got out of the tutorial. What the frick?
And I'm like, I have to do it. I won't be able to live with myself.
Yeah.
So
Fair enough.
I've been playing Days Gone again and
enough.
loving that all over again.
Fair enough. I'm going to come out right now and call that, although I am a little bit... I'm not sure if I really want you to do it, but I think you should stream Mass Effect.
We was talking about it a little bit on the stream last night, and I'm genuinely thinking about
Mass Effect 1 through 3, I think we looked it up. I think the total for all 3 games, because don't forget, it is 3 games.
Yeah.
The total is like 60 hours to do all of them, which... When someone says, 60 hours, right, that sounds like a lot, but you're completing 3 games. Yeah. And God of War's 40? Realistically,
sure.
Have you ever... I think they say you can do it in a hair under 30.
I think I did a little bit.
Who just beats the game?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Don't be stupid.
Even on my replay, I did all the Valkyries again, didn't you?
You have to.
Exactly.
It's like, you can't finish the game unless you beat them, didn't you know that?
I need to know.
It's not possible.
I need to
As
see
soon as you
Freya
find
at the
one,
end.
you then have to fight all of them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can't progress throughout the game if you didn't know.
Your PlayStation 5 just won't play another game.
It's literally true, yeah.
Done.
So I would like to see you do that. A little bit of me is kind of jealous because I would like to do it, but no one wants to see two people on the same channel stream the same game at different points. Also because I'm really familiar with the lore. Like I love the game. I have a deep relationship with Shepard and all the characters and whether you can, because some of them you can miss. Like you can miss Legion or you can kill him. I think you can kill him.
These are words.
One of the characters.
Should we ask the guys whether they would prefer a brand new approach to it, a brand new take to it? I think that's probably what people will say.
I want to see you do it.
Okay, all right, we'll do that then. I did think about it, and I was like, do you know what? That could be a really cool thing. And I do like the like when I played The Last of Us Part 2 for the first time, I played it on stream. When I played the Uncharted Collection, I played that on stream. The Ezio Collection I'm playing at the moment still on stream, and it's a good feeling, and I like the hangout vibe that I have with everyone, and they're all like, oh, you need to do this, oh, did you know about this, and they give me little bits to make it better. So I think that might be a good idea.
That reminds me, and on that topic, if you're going to finish the Ezio stream over on Twitch, you should put up a video on the YouTube saying we're over here now.
We're over here now.
Yeah. Anyway, we actually have topics.
We do. And just before we do that, we do have to thank a special section.
Oh, not these guys again.
The special section of people right here.
The windows are delicious.
Yes.
Yeah.
The people that support us at the $5 tier over on Patreon are so quote unquote true gamers.
Yeah, quote unquote. Yeah, we're legally obliged to.
we put it in the contract, and now we legally obliged to do it. No, our true gamers over at patreon.com/conversation.
Yes,
who support us at the $5 tier. You guys are legends as well.
You are. You make our weekly podcast happen.
Yes, you do.
Which is kind of actually really impressive.
Yeah, you guys think about that. You're making this channel go.
Yeah,
that's
pretty
like
sick.
That. Anyway, those people are Jeremy Horde, Sab2557, Raj, Record Friction, Real Kermit Cinema, Diogo, Dr. Brian Harold May is a better singer and guitarist than John Mayer. Ooh, that's a spicy take. People are going to hate you for that. Dan, Catsper Coral, Isak Manny, Doc Nutella, Fire Demons, Smokeless Fire, must kill them. You killed Sully. No, it can't be real. I gotta get out. Frick you, Dan. Sorry, Adam.
I knew it was Adam. You were like, Dan. I was like, wait. It's definitely Adam.
Albie Scory, Tim Allen is a cunt.
It's the
at the end right there. Hooded Dude, Benedict Clobbers, Zack Snyder's son, aka Batfan. Yeah, that's a good one. Max H, Fishy, Christian0210, The Jackal, Cobra SS, Jack Nicholas, and Joe McCormack. Thank you, bros, so much for keeping the lights and mics on the gaming going here at Conversations.
That's right. While we're actually on patrons, and then we will hit our first topic, we're at 40.
Yeah.
We're at 40 total patrons, which is freaking insane. Our next goal was, bearing in mind when we started this, I was like, if we get 5 at $1, we'll be good, right? 50.
Yeah.
I'm super excited to see when we get there, and I have no idea what we're going to do, because the idea that there's 50 people in the world that are going to pay to hear us talk.
Innit? So,
or like to, no, even
a
that.
foreign concept to us.
No, worse than that. Well, not worse, but like not pay to hear us talk. Pay to make sure that we can on these mics with that with both of these cameras streaming with the rig is mind blowing to me. It is insane to me. So
my mum doesn't even support me this much,
right? So it's one of those things. It's going to be really cool to see.
Yeah. Shall we kick it off with our first topic?
Yeah, let's do it.
So, the topic of the show, the discussion that we should have, whether or not this is going to be a great thing for gaming or whether or not it's going to destroy gaming as we know it.
Yes.
The rumor is that Microsoft...
I'm out.
There we go. Done, guys. Gaming is done. You can end the show now.
Dead.
See you later.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
see you later. Thanks for hanging with us. Next week's hair podcast.
Exactly. Next week's head podcast, we start talking a little bit about beards too. Wait, tune in.
You know, you say that, but I recommended a certain kind of razor to, I think it was Adam. Yeah. Or maybe been David Bindis. And like I got like 5 DMs from him afterwards, like, this is incredible, thank you for telling me, like it's so much better. So hair podcast, we'll add it to the list.
We
don't have enough.
We do need another podcast,
it's true.
To be honest.
It's true.
So let's start that again. The topic of the show this week is that the rumor is that Microsoft is in talks to buy Discord. This comes hot off of the heels of the Bethesda finalization, acquisition of ZeniMax and whatnot. So they now own them. They're a part of them. Immediately afterwards, now we hear this. For the long, do you know how how I discovered this?
Go on.
So I woke up, I think it was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, wouldn't it be so cool? I think it was after a stream. Wouldn't it be so cool if there was like an integration of Discord on like the PlayStation 5?
I remember that tweet. Yeah. Why did you say it out loud?
You
did this to us, is what I'm saying.
I was like, wouldn't it be so cool? You could have like these cool communities. We could have a dedicated channel just for the PS5. We could share screenshots in it. Like, wouldn't that be so great? It'd be so intuitive. And then like 5 hours later, I have a look on Twitter and it's like,
you summoned this business deal. You know that, right?
I think I did. But anyway, this is the rumor. It's not confirmed.
Yeah.
It's apparently talks and what. There's no deal on the table or anything like
yet.
that. But the rumor is that Microsoft is going to be buying Discord for $10 billion.
That actually makes more sense to me than spending 7.5 on Bethesda.
I agree.
And I'm not even joking.
I agree.
I feel like Discord is something that would actually make money. It's used by a lot of people. I don't know anyone that has a bad word to say about it. Like, there are things you would like to improve.
Yes.
But, like, it's a brilliant service.
Yeah.
This makes sense.
And it's on
10
almost
billion
every computer.
10 billion seems a hair high. Except that they did it to themselves because they spent 7.5 on Bethesda.
Yeah.
So, but, you know, if it was like 5 billion on Discord and no one bought Bethesda, I'd be like, I can see that. 10 billion is probably double what it's worth.
Yeah. It might be another situation because I'm sure Bethesda wasn't for sale.
No,
And then-
I agree. I totally agree with you.
And then Microsoft came down. They were like,
Well, because they didn't buy Bethesda, they had to buy the parent company.
Exactly.
Right? It wasn't for sale, but if you value it at 3x what it's ever going to be worth,
yeah.
people, you don't say no to that.
How can I be this stupid to say no?
Right.
And I think that's what happened with ZeniMax and
Yeah.
Bethesda and whatnot. Maybe the same situation is happening here. Maybe Discord is only worth 5 billion or 6 billion, whatever. And they were like, we really want this, you know, like that.
Yeah,
Again, this is all rumors and we're pretending like it is true just for the sake of conversation
course, yeah.
and whatnot. But how do you feel about the thought of Microsoft owning Discord, and what do you think the ramifications of that might be?
Well, if I was for Spencer,
Yes.
I'd be saying at the very beginning, doesn't mean we're going to do this. And then I'd say something also vague, saying, actually, we are going to do this, but it'd be super vague.
Yes.
Look, Discord, if they're smart, is not going to Microsoft only. That would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
So that's not happening. I don't know. The weird thing was, because I always looked at it as like a trio, right? In this order, it was like the Little Brothers Discord, integrated with Twitch, integrated with Amazon,
Yeah.
right? So I wonder why Amazon doesn't own it, or why they don't have it, or do they, and they're looking to buy. That's a weird thing to me, because I just always, although we weren't on Twitch, we've recently come to Twitch, I always felt like Discord wasn't so much that it integrates with Twitch, they're basically brothers,
Yeah.
right? That's probably a misconception, but it's the way it felt to me in the market.
Oh, yeah.
And the color scheme seemed very similar, and
Very similar,
the
yeah.
integration is so good that it looks like they're, you know, a parent and sister company.
It's very, I think they just made it that way.
Yeah.
They wanted to have the association.
Yeah.
And because it was so streamer focused as well, it sort of lended itself to Twitch streamers and Twitch and stuff like that.
I mean,
yeah.
if Microsoft are trying to position themselves as like for gamers, by gamers, for gaming, then Discord makes sense. Buying Bethesda makes no sense for that. But,
true.
but for Discord, absolutely. I don't really care who owns it as long as the service stays the same.
That's the
I
thing.
couldn't care less.
I didn't see this acquisition as a threat to anyone.
Yeah.
I saw it as a business move. They want to buy it. Maybe they
Yeah.
want to. Maybe they do use the backbone of it, or maybe they do integrate it in the future into the Xbox consoles.
That would be really good, actually.
Would be really good. It does. I do think it eliminates the possibility of it coming to PlayStation, although that could be a business opportunity for them to go venture out into. But if it didn't happen, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. But Discord is still available as we use it today, and we love it, and everything's great like that.
Yeah,
and I think it would still continue in that way.
Right, and I don't see there's any reason why, like, people act like you're either Microsoft or you're Sony, and that's just not the case. Like, Sony's used Microsoft servers for ages now.
Yeah.
Right. Like, there's no reason that Microsoft can't be like, well, look, we actually want to offer Discord integration to the PlayStation guys, because there's 105 million people, right? Like, we'll offer you integration, and it's a tiny fee from Sony, and then they have their competitor paying the money for the use of their servers and the use of one of their things. Why wouldn't you want that?
Way.
Yeah, why wouldn't you want that? And then you just make it a little bit better, a little bit easier. It just comes as standard on the Xbox, which would be incredible as well. Like, the idea that you can just jump on your Xbox and have immediate game integration with like all your friends list on Discord for the chat. You know, like why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah.
Again, I think people think we rag on Xbox because we want them to fail. It's the exact opposite. We rag on them because they should be competing better in the race.
I was gonna say the exact thing that's happening with the people that are fans of Xbox, that are seeing all the good things that Xbox is doing, like the existence of Game Pass and all these backwards compatibility titles and FPS boosts and stuff like that. Do you think that's Microsoft doing it out of the goodness of their heart, or do you think it's they're trying to play catch up because PlayStation's running away with the money?
Yeah.
It's because of the competition, and we want the same thing to happen the opposite way as well, so PlayStation gets even better.
Fingers crossed, and I really hope that somewhere in the next few years Xbox figures something out. By the way, if you're listening, that is character-driven, single-player RPGs.
You need to nail it.
Right? The thing is, they don't even need to nail it. They just have to not suck.
True.
Right?
True.
They just have to not suck. And cherry on top, be good.
Yeah.
Don't be God of War. Just be good.
Just be good. That's what you need
just
to
don't
do.
be Halo Infinite.
Yeah.
And if they can do that, then there will be a next generation of Xbox. And a little bit of me hopes that next generation, they will have seen the last two and gone, PS4 versus Xbox One, bit of a bloodbath. Yeah. PS5 versus Xbox Series X, we're lucky we survived. Look at the leaps they made with the PSVR 2, with the new SSD, with the 3D audio, with the DualSense. We have got to bring it.
Yeah.
And then that leap from PS4 to PS5, because it's it's a running jump.
Yep.
Right? That is that scene of The Rock jumping from the skyscrapers. That's the difference, right? The next box, just call it the next box. I'm even doing the branding for you boys.
We're fucking nailing it for you here.
All right. Like that comes out and does what the PS5 did to the PS4, where it's just like so far you're like, I can't believe this is coming out at the price point that it is, like $499, and it does this and it does that, and they caught up with the audio and they're integrating a VR thing, and Discord's integrated. Like, do it.
Yeah.
And you've got some games to play on it as well.
Yeah.
Not that the only thing to play on it is Fable, the new Fable.
Yeah.
You know, like that would be a dream come true. It would be a great thing for me to say, I've got to buy the next generation of both consoles, right? I need the PlayStation because God of War 7 is going to be coming out on it. Horizon 2 Night is going to come. You know, like I need to get that, but I also need to get the Xbox because Halo's good again. Because you know, the Discord integration makes it so much better for streaming. That, you know, like I want a world where I need both consoles.
Yeah.
And not just because of the integration, but because there's so much good stuff. Oh, man, like I got to get the next, because Fable 7's coming or whatever, you know, like the next Fable's coming and the next Halo's coming and the next Gears of War, they redid it and it's a brand new show or it's a brand new reboot, or Dead Space is coming back and its thing, and Rare's bringing back Banjo-Kazooie and Conker's Bad Fur Day, which we were talking about.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like, I want that world. I really want that world. And Xbox owns enough things with enough old IPs that could be rebooted, or enough time to people to make new stuff now. I really want it. And I don't give a frick where Discord goes.
Yeah.
Then no one's taking Discord away from the majority of the market.
I was going to say that, to be honest, like Windows, Xbox regards PCs as their console.
Yes.
Even though they neglected them for so long, and only when the Xbox started to fail that they were like, PCs, there are guys, there are guys right here.
There are gamers. They're totally not addicted to Valve.
So they're not going to take it away from PC,
yeah,
which is where its home is right now.
Yes, yeah.
And they're not going to take it away from iOS. They're not going to take it away from phones and stuff like that. So it's not going to change, really. No. It's not going to change. The only thing that could happen is that they also adapt it for the Xbox, which will be great for them people over there.
I think it's a really good play because if they do integrate it with the Xbox, they'll word it this way in investor meetings. How many people use Discord? Let's make up a number.
90 million?
Let's say 90 million. Google it, just I'm genuinely curious.
Let's have a look.
In the investor meeting, they will say 90 million people use Xbox and Xbox services for their gaming.
I lowballed it. 300 million.
300 million people use Xbox and Microsoft services for their gaming and communications. That's what will go into the next investor call. Microsoft's killing the game. Oh, the game's like, they own the game. It's incredible. Blah, blah, blah.
Gaming.
Right. For the gamer, by the gamer. Just no games for the gamer. You know, Like it's going to look great.
Yeah.
So good. Then Microsoft, the Xbox division of Microsoft can finally get some love and go into R&D again, though. And we said this on the previous podcast. It's very telling of the parent companies, right? Microsoft is a service-based company, a software service-based company, and Sony is a hardware-based company, right? So, it's kind of telling with the consoles, but I think Xbox needs to realize that there is more than enough room for a second console that isn't a Nintendo, because Nintendo's doesn't really factor in. But there's people that want both. There's people that only want the Xbox. There's enough money here, and there's enough money to justify. Look, frick it, don't buy Bethesda. Put $7.5 billion into research for sound, for 3D, for
even just
controllers,
into your
for
own
gaming.
from the ground up game. Like even like I get you did do the same thing for Halo Infinite, and that didn't turn out well. Maybe they're burned on that. Well, actually, I shouldn't claim that yet. From what we know so far, it doesn't look like it's going out well. It might turn around.
We also don't know for sure that price tag of $500 million is accurate.
Yeah, it's true.
We strongly suspect it. Based on the way they spend money, we strongly suspect it.
Before, that was the thing, because we heard that just about Halo. It was like, they spent $500 million on a Halo. We're like, who spends $500,000 on a game? And
$500 million?
$500 million, sorry. Yeah. And then we see them buy Bethesda for $7.5 billion. We're like, okay, but Microsoft spends that money.
Yeah, because this is the thing, is you do forget that Microsoft doesn't treat it like the Xbox division, where Sony does. The PlayStation is its own separate wing under Sony, despite using like hardware, like cross whatever you call that, but it has to perform in its own way.
Yeah.
Xbox, because of the way Microsoft likes to umbrella things, even though it is its own division. Microsoft did this. Microsoft sold this many things. Microsoft made this much revenue, so it feels very different. The way they spend money. Like they could easily keep up with Sony.
Yeah.
They could do it. Totally could.
D writes into the Discord server and he's asking what our thoughts are on the Microsoft wanting to buy Discord. And he says, personally, I don't like this because it means that PlayStation is never going to get that Discord integration, and that makes me sad. I also feel like Microsoft is becoming Disney of gaming and basically having a monopoly board now. And that is a thought as well. I don't know what the legal side of this is, or like what classes as a monopoly and what the requirements are for you to face the repercussions of it. I don't know anything about business in that sense, but Microsoft, they do seem to be, I mean, to be honest, it's like what they bought a bunch of studios that into their...
The thing is, this is the thing, and I get the idea, but they bought a bunch of nobody studios, and gaming and software development is a notoriously like freelance strike out on your own gig, which is, and this is actually my topic that I wanted to bring up.
Okay.
A bunch of people do regularly leave jobs or switch and go between places, and then often do their own pet projects, make their own games, make their own studios. It happens all the time. Same with software development companies. All the time people do this. So I'm not as worried. It's a worry, but not as worried as if it was like one company buying up all the airplanes, and all the airlines. Like that would be more worrying, or all of the trains. That would be more worrying. But because of the nature of this, like strike out on your own, like Pimlico Plumbers is a big...
That's a very specific thing to bring up. I know them.
They're a big plumbing firm in London, right? And nobody's worried about them having a monopoly. They have a really good brand, but plumbing is a thing that anyone can do it. And it's notorious for people just going out and becoming self-employed and doing it, right? So I don't think anyone's worried about a plumbing thing. And in the same way, game development is notorious for...
True.
Minecraft, one of the best-selling games of all time, one of the most played games of all time now, still was made by that one guy. There's a bunch of games similar to that. What was that game that Xbox showed off? That was made by one Chinese dude.
Bright Memory.
Bright Memory, right? It's a thing that if you've got the skills, you can do it on your own. I'm not saying that's the ideal way to do it, but it can be done. Yeah,
that's true. That is a good point. As for the PlayStation integration, as I said before as well, I'm really upset about that. Especially because I just I was like, do you know what? I'm going to tweet about this. I feel like this is an interesting thing some big influencer would say. And I did nothing.
No, it would be cool to get the Discord integration, but we've been doing it without in UI integration for ages is not a big deal. It would be cool though.
Another side of this coin is as well. Also, while I'm saying this, do you mind if I ask you to pass my glasses clean thing just back there, because glasses are fucking filthy. It's another side of the coin as well, is that even before this Microsoft talk potential rumor of them buying it, PlayStation would have to agree to being put on the platform.
That's true.
And they have their own voice chat system, and they might not want to muddy the water with it.
Which
isn't
bad.
The same way they didn't want EA Play's subscription service on the service, because they felt like it undermined the value of gaming. And I was like, so they would also have to agree to it. And would they agree to a Discord integration? I think if the word ever got out, gamers would be like,
you need to do it.
PlayStation, do this shit. We want it. But if it didn't get out, then I think it might be a different story.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually a very good point. There's a good likelihood that they wouldn't.
Yeah.
I think that's a mistake. But again, we're not privileged enough to see the back end data.
All the information in it.
They know a lot of stuff. It's rare that, look, Sony, just like Nintendo, very rarely make bad decisions when it comes to at least the PlayStation.
Yeah.
Right? They're just not good at making bad decisions with it so far. So if they were to say no, there's probably a really good reason, or a really good reason for PlayStation not to do it. I would like to see it. It would be cool, but it's not like the end of the world.
Yeah.
And also without like the appropriate UI development, which could be a freaking nightmare.
I'm just thinking about how you would navigate Discord on a console.
I would 100% have to Bluetooth link it to a laptop.
Mouse or something, innit?
You'd need to. I think you would link it to your laptop, and you do all the integration on there through your Discord app.
Right click, link to PlayStation, do that.
Yeah,
something like that.
Because
Probably.
it would be a nightmare.
It would be a nightmare
unless they came up with a really good console UI, which would have to be totally different, even from mobile. Yeah. Because you just don't have the touch screen.
Yeah.
So the way you navigate would be so different. But
something that I saw on the internet was quite funny when this all came out. It was that meme of the Grim Reaper knocking at 3 doors.
Yes, I saw that.
And the first one, it was MSN Messenger.
Yeah.
Which nobody on my timeline knew what the hell it was. D especially was like, I might sound like a sperm here, but I don't know what that first one is. And I had to educate him.
Mate, you used to spend... we kids used to spend freaking hours on that, to the point where like parents were like, no, you can't use it, I'm expecting a phone call. Because you couldn't do both. You couldn't have phone calls and use the internet.
Ooh, the times we suffered through.
Right.
Oh. So the first door, Blood Trail, MSN Messenger, Microsoft is the Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
The next one, Skype, Blood Trail, going like that. There's only 2 idiots in the world that use Skype anymore, and it's James and Tyler.
Facts.
And then the third one is the Grim Reaper knocking on Discord's door, just getting ready to kill Discord as well. If Microsoft gets Discord and then Discord dies, oh my god, I swear to God.
But when you put it like that, I'm suddenly really worried, really concerned.
They don't have a good messaging / call service that they like. Skype was good at one point.
It was okay, yeah.
But then it just turned into nothing. Yeah, there's a reason why in the pandemic everyone went to Zoom and not Skype when Skype existed.
And Skype's mostly free.
Exactly.
The Zoom call has a limit of like 45 minutes on the free version. Right. Like you're deeply incentivized to buy stuff on that. So they had the formula, but they did a Blockbusters, right? And this does kind of relate to business. Like Blockbusters, Netflix approached Blockbusters to buy them.
Yeah.
And mate, Blockbuster could have easily outdone Netflix.
Yeah.
They could have seen what they were doing and go, we'll just do it. We've got the brand. No one knew Netflix. Netflix doesn't even make any sense. It's a stupid name. Blockbuster, everybody knew it. And people use the term, it's a blockbuster. Even now, people are like, that's a blockbuster film. Like, they could have just literally copied the model, dealt with the lawsuit and, be like, what do you want to watch on Blockbusters tonight? Blockbusters and chill. Blockbusters and Buster Nut.
But now look where they are.
Right. So, but it does seem like Microsoft does do that a lot, which is get good stuff and let it die. Just not do anything with it. I don't know what... It might be because they do have the frick you money, where there's just no incentive, there's no hunger to constantly improve and make sure the competition doesn't steal their lunch.
Which is strange, because it seems like with Xbox, they have got that hunger. Like they're going out there and they're spending ridiculous money to try and make things work, to try and hopefully make something hit. But it just seems that everything else is just like, oh, we'll just charge people for Office now.
Right.
And people don't give a fuck about Office no more.
No, there's you know, at this point,
we won't make a good OS. We'll just keep on going on with Windows, whatever we've made, the next one and whatnot. Which this next malware,
more bloatware.
Exactly. Cass wrote in and he goes, somewhat follow-up question to what D was talking about. Obviously, there are rumors going around that Microsoft will buy Xbox by Discord, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, and I wanted to ask what other apps you would like to... Other apps, if that's what you would call them, to come to consoles. And he goes, one of them he goes as well as a Discord. Skype he would like on there. And we just mentioned how Skype is terrible and whatnot.
I don't... So, genuine question. I don't know if it's in there. I don't know why you would want Skype, because on the PlayStation and the Xbox, they have their own integrated voice.
Yeah.
Was it VoIP? Voice over internet, right?
Voice over IP.
Whichever, yeah. Like they have that, and they're all good enough.
Yeah.
I would say better than Skype anyway, because there's none of that weird muting that they do.
And it's already built in, and everything's there.
I mean, obvious choices. OnlyFans, of course, for us.
OnlyFans, it would help us out a lot.
Yeah. The other tube one, that would be good.
Wink, where's wink?
Orange YouTube.
And then whatever torrent website we can get on there.
Well, do you know what's funny? I was gonna say, a web browser, because
so funny that we have to say that.
I have my PS4 still. I'm not gonna get rid of it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can't find anime on like reputable sites.
Yeah.
Right, on like your Funimation and stuff like that, or you want a certain thing, or it's like airing today and it's not coming out and they don't have the deal. All that sort of thing.
Oh, High School of the Dead isn't on here. Oh,
you got it right. That's the one.
I got it right this time.
There's one that's apparently even worse than that. Was it called like Redo or Redo of a Healer? I think it's basically just a hentai, as far as I'm aware.
You guys know that.
Well, I know because it's like genuinely, and as the joke, but like I know what to avoid, because I freaking hate that stuff so much. It's one of the things I'm not looking forward to for Gurren Lagann, because when you meet, because we're doing Gurren Lagann, by the way, and Haikyuu, because you can't.
Wait, hold on a second.
You can't give me. They're 25 episodes.
How are we doing all of these animes now?
Just to that'll be a total of 50 episodes for the whole of the
I was going to say, I've not heard of Haikyuu. When did this come about?
Well, because
let's not go into it. So use your PS4 to look up anime.
For the web browser, because sometimes you have to sell the 7Cs for the anime that you want, and you can't do it on the PS5. And I want to be able to watch anime on the PS5, and not all of the places have it, or I don't want to pay for...
Do you use your PS4 instead of your laptop because it's less likely to get any sort of aids from any of the websites?
I don't care about aids. I have a Mac. That's why I have a Mac.
That's true. That's a good point right there.
No, I use it because it's on the TV and I don't have an easy HDMI connection.
Good point. I didn't think of that. I thought maybe it was like the malware site someone...
Couldn't care less.
Cool. Let me read the rest of his comments so he gets his full thing out here. I think it'd be cool if we have Skype or something similar. If Discord weren't to be on the PS5 or... on the PS5 and the Xbox Series X and S, I think it would be cool to be able to call someone / have a PSN party with a mate. You're literally describing the built-in party system in PS5 and PS4.
Unless you could be playing your PS4 and they're out at work or something on their lunch break, and you could call them while you're on your PS4. But you can still kind of do that. Just use your phone.
I was going to say the PSN app doesn't it do something like that?
Does it? I don't know. I actually don't have the app downloaded.
I think I'm speaking too far out of my field here.
But like, okay.
It goes. Cool. Let's say.
Also, you could do the thing. It's brand new technology, but it's called a phone call.
Yes, brand new. You probably don't have a phone though. That's probably what it is, because it's so brand new.
Yeah, that's right.
Unfortunate. But if you did have a phone call. Works out great. He says, let's say you're playing Horizon and your mate is playing Minecraft or FIFA. These are very specific games, right?
I feel you can do that on the party system though. You don't have to be in the same game.
He says, you know something chill that you don't have to concentrate as much as online games like ranked, like R6 Siege. The guy's picking out very specific games here. You could just say like an online multiplayer game, you know? That could be cool. Right. I think it'd be cool an option would be cool to have if we could hear one, another why.
Hear one another.
Yeah, I think that's what it's supposed to be. Hear one another. Why not allow us to see each other? Especially now, okay, so he wants like a picture-in-picture thing here.
Okay.
Yeah, I missed that part at the top. He said picture-in-picture while sharing screens and stuff like that.
But isn't that what the thing. We saw that in the tech demo of those cards and stuff. You can do the
on
picture.
PS5 you could do that. Yeah, where you're playing a game and whatnot.
We've never done that. We should mess around with that and see how
shot in it.
Just see how it goes and then do a tutorial video how to do this thing.
This is a very specific use case scenario. I feel like not everyone's going to use it that way, especially not everyone's going to want to use Skype because it's just balls. But I see where your mind's at. Is there any other apps? Not necessarily a video app or a call app or something like that you want.
Any other apps? No,
trying to think of what do I have on my phone?
I was going to say like maybe social media, but I don't think I'm going to be going on Instagram or TikTok on my PlayStation. Do you know what I mean?
No, I don't think there's anything. I mean,
no, I think it's well positioned for the stuff that you do.
Got it.
What?
A built-in Just Eat app, so you can just order your food, your game of food, right when you're eating. We're playing a game. Just talking to the merchants like PlayStation. Order me a fat kebab. All right,
right.
And it brings over to you.
You know what? That's invest.
There you go, guys.
Invest.
Just Eat, if you're listening, which you are because you listen to the podcast, obviously, get that app going right now.
That
is integration as well.
That's the shit right there. Like between lobbies or something, you're like, Just Eat, order me or whatever. It knows your address and your cards in there.
Doritos and Mountain Dew because that's what gamers eat.
Of course, yeah.
That's
Plus the G Fuel.
Exactly. You need that too.
Right.
Anyway, thanks for writing in there, Cass. So that was the discussion on Microsoft and Bethesda. Microsoft and Discord. Yeah.
I have something that kind of like tangentially relates to that.
Go ahead.
Because it relates to Bethesda. I don't know. Do you know the name Ikumi Nakamura?
Sounds familiar.
So she is, I think she used to work for Bethesda. And she was like a fan for everybody. Loved to hear her speak. Actually, I follow her on Twitter. Yeah. Because I just like her presentation style. She seems cool.
Was she the one that she was very like outgoing on the stage and she did these cool moves and whatnot, and everyone spoke about her from that Bethesda Ghostwire, wasn't it?
Yes,
that was her
she's
game?
The Ghostwire
creative developer or something like that. Yes, okay.
That's absolutely her. That's exactly the person I'm talking about.
Lovely.
She has just opened an indie studio.
This is a good thing. I think I might have tweeted about this as well. So
Did you?
What was her deal?
What do you mean? What was her deal?
So do you remember? We didn't bring this up on the podcast. I heard it as a story, and I was like, we're never going to mention it. She left her position at Bethesda because apparently she wanted to focus on her family.
Yeah,
and she had a newborn baby that she wanted to take care of, and that was like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, something like that. And now she's back with her own brand new indie studio.
Not quite. She did one other thing in between.
Go on.
This will take you by surprise. This has nothing to do with gaming. She went around abandoned buildings, just exploring them, and made like a little YouTube documentary on it. Just exploring abandoned buildings, but like over like 3 different countries. Like I think she did it in, I want to say Germany, America, but somewhere bad in America, like Detroit or something. And I think in Japan as well.
Washington, D.C.
right. Exactly. Why would you want to go? That's where the aliens always attack.
Exactly.
But so she made that little documentary. And then she went and made a studio. And I can't find anything for it. But look, I freaking love it. And I'm all about it. I dig her. I never played Ghostwire. But
it hasn't come out yet, I don't think.
Well,
it's coming out soon.
But I don't know anything about it, is what I meant to say. Like, haven't even looked at the gameplay footage. It's not a game that excites me. No, they will be bad, just to be clear. Like, what's a game like Demon Souls, Blood Souls, Bloodborne, all that shit.
Yeah.
Doesn't do it for me. It's just not my kind of game. Same as like stealth games. Not really my thing, right? So same with Ghostwire. Like saw a little bit. I'm like, oh, that looks good. Not for me.
Not for me. See you later.
But I love that she's done it. And now more proof that Amy Hennig needs to just make a few phone calls.
Yeah.
Get this thing done.
Come on, Amy. Amy.
Right? Come on. Seriously. Because also it seems like for a lot of it, it's the creative directors that are the guys that start it. She's the creative director for Ghostwire.
That Jane.
Yeah. She was the creative director for
Assassin's Creed.
Was it?
I think that was her first game she worked on, Assassin's Creed.
Was she the creative director or the... Anyway, it seems like the creative people seem to lead the studios, and they go, because ideally have a vision for a game, then they just need the guys that come in to make it, right?
Yeah.
But they have the vision. That's the important thing. And Amy Hennig, perfectly positioned to do this. Frick, Death Stranding. I've forgotten his name now.
How haven't we got Amy Hennig coming back? Hideo Kojima.
Hideo Kojima, there you go. Like Hideo Kojima, again, like he's the visionary type, right? Then you make a studio around the visionary. Seriously, why isn't she back? What's she doing?
Jade Raymond was the
Jade.
the
Yes, yeah.
She was apparently working on Assassin's Creed, Watch Dog franchises. She was working at EA Motive Studios. Yeah, and on the 16th of March, she announced the new independent development team called Haven Entertainment. There you go.
Is Skydance? I just for some reason I'm not following her. I'm following her now. Amy is the president of new media division of Skydance Media. Is Skydance Media, and maybe she did do it. That would make a lot of sense.
Skydance, isn't that a movie studio?
Media. No, and she didn't found it either. It was founded like 11 years ago. So, Amy, you need to get on that.
Yeah, Skydance Media is a movie studio. I'm looking here. It's like, well, actually, it says films. Films produced.
General media.
It says films produced in. It's got like Mission Impossible, Terminator, and stuff like that.
So she tweeted. This was in October again because I'm not following her. She tweeted a picture of Tom Holland as Nathan Drake.
Oh yeah,
put Sic Parvis Magna. What's on that ring?
Right.
I think that's what's on the ring.
Yeah.
That's what I read in the Last of Us 2 when I found it.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Anyway, Amy, you need to get on that because it seems like the perfect opportunity.
Yeah, Amy. Everyone else is doing it. Come on, man. You're literally the one that we all want.
Just jump on the bandwagon.
Shit, bruv. Shit. But that I was confused because I saw that she's opened up her own studio, and I was just like, hold on. The whole statement was that you were leaving to focus on your family and to take care of a newborn baby that you had.
Maybe it's a family-run business, bruv. You don't know.
And
maybe she's making Boss Baby the game.
That was exactly what people were saying. They were like, yeah, her baby is the studio. And I was like,
shit.
oh,
shit. Yeah, she had the idea for 9 months, left and made it.
Anyway, I was confused. I was trying to read more into it. I was like, was she forced out of Bethesda?
There's like two people that will get that.
Exactly. Anyway, yeah, that's actually really interesting. And why the hell hasn't Amy Hennig come back?
No.
It's just crazy, isn't it?
It bugs me as well because there's so many ideas that she's spoken about that she wanted to do like in interviews.
Yeah.
And you're like 3/4 of those are not owned by anyone. Yeah. You just had an idea to do a thing, make a studio and do it. I mean, I have no idea how difficult that is, but I feel like if you're Amy, you can be like, yeah, I'm Amy Hennig. You want to give us the money for the startup? You want to come and work for me?
Yeah.
You know?
So.
Yes.
I have a new topic.
Go on.
Marvel's Avengers.
Oh, fuck. I don't want to hear it.
Has seen 4 to 5 times player increase with the new release of their new character Hawkeye.
That shocks me greatly, unless it was like one guy playing and then 4 people jumped on.
Basically. So apparently I looked into it, I was like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah,
maybe this will get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
And this Hawkeye, I was like, was Hawkeye really sought after? Is Hawkeye, guys, Hawkeye's in the game, quick, let's go.
Right.
I didn't think that at all.
And that's what they were talking about on the DS5 when they were talking about when you draw a bow.
That's it, guys. It's all piecing together now, boys. I looked at the numbers, and apparently this is based off of Steam numbers because that's the only reliable numbers you can get. We can't get console ones and stuff like that. The numbers before, and this is going to shock you, daily average player count, 500 players.
Oh,
500 players for a Marvel branded IP online service game, not from like a small tiny company indie studio, a massive thing. And it went up to about 2,500 players, and that's what it went up to. Now, do you want to know roughly, say another game, Destiny 2?
I was just about to say, I want to know the numbers for Destiny 2, I want to know the numbers for Red Dead Online, I want to know the numbers for like something obscure, like, well, Battlefront, we played that, we saw at least 500 people, so we know that was a thing.
Destiny 2.
Yeah.
Over the last 30 days, just a random thing, no everything like that, 55,000 people.
1,000% more.
Yes. I'm going to do a Red Dead Online right here. Red Dead Online, which is dead online or
That is
itself. So
it's mind-blowing to me.
13,000 people. And that's a dead game, in my opinion.
I totally agree. That's why I picked
Let's see
it.
if we can Fallout 76.
Oh, shit.
This is going to be something. Fallout 76. 4,000 people. Even that game has players on it. And 500.
What about The Last of Us Online? They closed the servers, didn't they?
I think so. I think
that's multiplayer. What about The Last of Us Remastered multiplayer?
Also, those are console. We can't track console numbers. That's right. But I was like, oh shit, this is great. Oh, it was It was on life support, and now they gave it a little
life support. I got up to life support.
I was gonna say they gave it a shot of epinephrine, and it gave it a little bit of a boost. And then it went, no, that's good. No, it's still gonna die.
Have you seen Crank?
Yes.
Yeah. Is that
Jason Statham? Yeah. Oh god.
the idea that you could get down to 2,500 people playing when the characters are Thor, Black Widow, Hulk, Captain America, that alone shocks me. The fact that you could get down to 2,500 players a day or a month or wherever it was, when the game comes out in the peak of Marvel, which is months after Endgame,
it was hard,
and into the lockdown where people have nothing to do but play, and we're still kind of here.
That's crazy.
That is insane to me.
Yeah. I'm just looking at it now.
How you and me could do this better. We could do a Marvel freaking like Pokemon trading card game and do better than that. You know,
it's quite bad, right? Imagine. I feel sorry for the people that are working there. They're looking at the numbers, and like when you look at your internet.
Don't feel sorry for them because they won't be working there for long.
It's true. They'll need to find another job. You know when you look at your internet modem, like, and you know when you're using your router, like, and when you use the internet, it blinks like mad. With their servers, it's just like.
No, I think you're either just playing a trick on you, Barry. No, I saw it again. I swear.
That's it.
So rub your eyes. No, I'm seeing loads of those squigglies now. Never mind. Don't worry. Turn all the lights off. There's look. I swear I saw it.
Oh, apparently right now they're around about 1,500 people. So it's dropped down from even that number, the 2,500.
You mean as of today, there's about 1,000?
It says over this 48-hour period, the average number, it's 1,590. It says there. That's what they're saying right there.
Just because I want to rub salt in the wound. How many people are on GTA 5?
Oh, that's going to be insane. And again, we can only check Steam numbers. But GTA 5.
I was on Twitch the other day because, we
86,000 in the last 30 days. That's an average number right there.
I was on Twitch the other day because, we're now looking at Twitch and I'm just sort of clicking around.
Yeah.
And I saw there's like Tim the Tap Man and stuff who's playing COD Warzone, which is like a very popular game. He's one of the more popular streamers, like 50,000 or 35 to 45,000 people watching. That's freaking insane. Recommended. Some guy playing GTA 5 online, 107,000 viewers.
Frick. Damn.
That's the sort of numbers you pull on the day one of a brand new game, because you got it because the guys send these dudes the copy so they have it and it's installed the second the street date lifts,
GTA's done something good, because do you know why I think as well those numbers are really high for GTA? GTA has their own type of game within the game, but it's a stream type game. What it is, it's a role-playing situation. And I've watched people play it, and it's fucking great to watch.
It's GTA Dungeons and Dragons.
Basically, you're just like, you get assigned a role, you play an ordinary life within the game of GTA. It's so fucking alluring.
But I feel like
you need a big production to do it. But
I feel like that's the GTA culture, not the GTA game. You know
exactly.
what I mean?
It's not the game. They made the game and it just happened to lend itself to these people who were like, fuck, let's make something great of it. And it looks great. Anyway, that's Marvel Avengers. It's doing terribly. But don't worry, Hawkeye is here to save the day.
The fact that Hawkeye, and I hate to look, Hawkeye is a cool enough character, but the fact that Hawkeye saved the day says something, right? Like,
I wonder what happens, because It's not the best character. No diss to Hawkeye. We love you, Jeremy Renner, our
Wanda,
official Avenger.
Vision.
I was gonna say, what's gonna happen? I wonder when they bring out a properly good character.
Falcon.
Maybe it'll be a bit better. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we'll have to wait and see. And see. Our next topic.
Yeah, buddy.
It's a sad one.
Oh no.
It's a sad one.
Oh no.
PlayStation 3, PSP, and PS Vita online stores are closing down very soon.
Yeah.
It hasn't been it's not officially been announced yet, but people who are close to the subject and close to like online services apparently have been told this. It's going to be announced sometime later this month and whatnot, which is coming up quite fast, like 4 days left.
Yeah.
And yeah, unfortunately it's going to go away. Now, I'm not too pissed about this for the fact that I don't play many old games. I don't play many old PS3 games and whatnot, but there are some people out there that do play it.
Yeah.
And I did feel like, remember when we had that discussion with James about the backwards compatibility on Xbox?
Yeah.
This was the moment where I was like, do you know what? This is a moment where it matters.
Yeah.
Because PlayStation's very, very far behind in terms of like backwards compatibility. They're nearly non-existent without the PlayStation Now thing.
Yes.
Whereas Xbox has pretty much backwards compatibility on nearly every title that they do and whatnot. That means that some of these games are going to be lost forever.
Yes and no.
Unless you have a physical disc.
Yes and no. I do think that there is a likelihood that at some point, probably in the next few years, that Sony will say, we're bringing back these old games. They'll put some money in. Because, and this is the big deal, this is one of the reasons that the backwards compatibility hasn't been a thing that they've pushed for, was that right slap bang in the middle, their generation where online and all that kicked off, which, I mean, technically the PS2 could go online, but it didn't really. It
wasn't really, no.
PS2 was the first generation that really did online multiplayer, online store, streaming, all that crap. Was the most difficult freaking code in the world, right? There were literally devs houses that only made games for the PS3, not because they were Sony exclusive, but because they were some of the only people that could write in that language or code in that language, and therefore Sony came to them, kind of thing, right? And because of that interruption, I think they never pushed backwards compatibility. But now that we're into the PS4 and it can run now we're on the PS5 and it can run 4 games, and 1 and 2 are so easily enough brought up to date, or ported over.
There we go.
I wouldn't be surprised to find that they say, okay, some of these games are really beloved. Beloved. People still like these games. I can't think of a PS3 title that's really.
See, that's. I could think of a couple, but. There's a lot of sides to this. One of them that I was thinking about was Jim Ryan said at one point when people were talking about backwards compatibility, when it was a big thing for Xbox, they were like, why isn't PlayStation doing anything? What's their answer to backwards compatibility, blah, blah, blah. And they brought out PlayStation Now, and it wasn't what everyone wanted because you had to you couldn't download PS3 games, you had to stream them, etc. Yes. Jim Ryan came out and said, we've done like our focus groups, we've done our tests, we've done our feelers out there, and people don't really want to play old games that often. And I echoed that because, like I said before, I didn't want to play any old games.
I still think that's generally true.
Generally, I believe that to be true as well. Genuinely, that's my perception on everything. I feel like people like the idea of it, but how many people are going to want to actually do it versus how much time they invest in it, it's probably not worth the amount of money that you put into it. Now, is that an excuse? Because at the end of the day, it's preservation of games and stuff like that, and sometimes you can only get a game on digital and stuff. It's a big ball of wax to talk about. I wouldn't
be surprised to find that whatever happens with the next God of War, like if it's the end of the Kratos story, or if they do a trilogy, that eventually there comes a 6-part thing where they say this is the entire God of War saga, right? And that means remaking. It means that they have to get the original games either remade in new code or brought into the current language, right?
And I think that was their answer. Like they went, okay, the Uncharted collection, let's redo that one and whatnot. Then they brought the Last of Us and what they brought that over to the PS4. They did God of War remastered, all those, or the trilogy. Well, they brought that over.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean.
They brought the trilogy over and stuff like that. So they did do it for some of the core titles. However, I would argue, and I don't know if people will agree with me, I feel like PlayStation has much more of a nostalgia heritage.
I actually really agree.
A lot more games that you would be like, damn, that was the shit. Back in the day, that was the shit, than Xbox does. So it's odd that Xbox is doing the backwards compatibility thing more.
You know what?
Than PlayStation.
That is a hard argument. As a guy that was an Xbox bot,
yeah,
an Xbot.
An X-bot. Get it? Get
up until...
X as in before. Past.
Up until the PS4. Like, if you remember when we were on the PS3, I still had my 360 and I was pushing hard for us to switch to Xbox because the UI is so much better and COD comes out and we're always playing COD and blah, blah, blah. And I was playing on both. Xbox does have some bangers, some nostalgic bangers. They're things like God of War. Not God of War. They're things like Halo. They're things like... Gears of War, that's what I was, saying. God of War.
Another G of War.
Right. However, the PlayStation feels much more nostalgic to me. It's got those old Final Fantasies. It's got Tekken.
Yeah.
It's got, I mean, it's got a lot of really great games. Also,
Parappa the Rapper.
What?
That's an old game. It's really bad. You don't want to see this game.
In fairness, like, and I love that we both played games that no one's ever heard of. Like I brought up that, was it Tai Feng or something?
Yes.
That weird tiger
I had to
fighting
Google
game.
it, and even then I didn't even know what I was looking at.
Thin on the ground. Like I think I was one of the 20 people that played it. You know?
They're like, we sold another copy. It's ships again.
Also, you know what we were saying? Games used to come out working.
Didn't for that case, no.
There was plenty of stuff that didn't work, like jumping and turning didn't work exactly. There was things you had to jump onto that wouldn't let you touch them. You fell through.
Back in the day, those were Easter eggs.
Right.
Developers just left that in for you.
Yeah. It's just a fun thing. It adds extra layers of difficulty.
Yeah.
I would be... I think that their play, because you know PlayStation just sort of do things and Xbox makes a big deal out of it, and PlayStation's like, hey, we just give you this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised to find that over the next few years, a bunch of things just get remade or ported over, and they're just there, and they just never make a big deal out of it. However, it's kind of like, you know, the Xbox event where the game's running at 4K 60 FPS. Yeah. That's a flex. Flex it. And I feel like PlayStation, if they bring the stuff over, will bring it over, but it will be a small announcement on the PS Store for like 2 days. And unless you care about God of War, you miss it.
That would be a huge mistake for them to leave it off. Do you know what they need to do?
Tell me.
They just need to somehow work out PlayStation 3 emulation. If they do that, it's a one-time cost. Make the thing work on PS5. The PS5 can clearly handle PS3 emulation.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's 2 generations ago console. And then just wash your hands of it and be like, look, okay, you can read the disc, you can use it on the thing, just fuck, that's it, gone. Do what you like with it. And then it satisfies everybody.
Even fuck the disc.
Yeah,
right, because
even downloads and whatnot.
Right. Maybe you make it the PSN Store.
PS Now. Then you add downloads to it, and then it can run it, and then it's done.
Right. You do this. You say backwards compatibility. You need to purchase the emulator.
Yeah.
$14.99 or whatever. Right. And these games that we just have, here you go, man. Have them.
Yeah.
Right. And we know that most of you have lost the discs, or you never got to play it, and then you don't do it with every single game. You do like a rolling 20. You know, this month you get access to these. The same sort of deal. You save it to the library, you always get access.
Yeah.
But if you don't, it's just on the thing because it does eat server space.
Yeah.
Not a lot in comparison, but actually, I bet that code's fairly bulky.
Probably. I mean, I have no idea. It was on Blu-ray back in this. There's a lot of space on Blu-ray.
Yeah. But like, I bet the number of people that download Bully.
Yeah.
Or one of those, or like a Tekken 3 or something, right? Probably surprisingly high.
Yeah.
So I think that would be the way to do it. But, and then at least make your money back on investing in the emulator, right? Get them to pay for the emulator. And at the end of the day, if someone's on their PlayStation and enjoying their experience on the PlayStation, that's a win for PlayStation.
I was going to say, that's it, yeah.
Because that's also, and this is key, and this is something I would keep, you know, the boot up sound.
Oh yeah.
You know, I can't do it, but that like twinkling noise. Yeah. All of that. All of the loading graphics when you boot it up, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you include an option to skip.
Make it full nostalgia.
Yeah.
Go.
Absolutely, because that brings people back to like a better time.
Yeah.
You know, a carefree time. And if that's what they associate with playing on PlayStation, then they buy a PS6.
That's such a good strategy. That is.
I
such
think.
a good strategy.
And tell me you wouldn't pay Tell me you wouldn't pay $14.99 for the emulator.
It's like saying, would you like a really easy, convenient way to have your PS3 inside your PS5? Just in case you ever want to play a game. 15 quid is absolutely one of the best value options right there. If it was 15 quid, we don't know. We're just talking here. But man, that would be so good. That would be so good. PlayStation, just do something, man. We want PS3 games back.
We really do. And I'm looking at... it's not showing me PS3 only, but I'm looking at some games from like 2006.
Yeah. And
a bunch of them. Well, let's do games from 2007. Because that will be where...
I just typed in PS3 games and see what's coming up here.
Well, the thing is, I got things from like 2001, which definitely isn't the PS3.
Yeah.
But
we got some Black Ops. We've got some Uncharted. Oh, Metal Gear Solid 4. That's nice. Modern Warfare 2.
Modern Warfare 2, yeah, what a banger.
Dead Space. Batman Arkham Asylum.
Bioshock.
Oh, yeah.
Tony Hawk. No.
Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls. I played those 2 games.
Anyway, I think for £15 to get to play some of those incredible old titles, I would do it. Absolutely would. Why wouldn't you?
Do you want to hear something hilarious?
Yeah, go on.
I literally just typed in. People can see hopefully over my shoulder. PS3 games. I was looking at that, and then I was looking at top stories. It just pings up anything related to what you typed in. And Push Square, the article's name is Talking Point. Would you buy a PS1, PS2, or PS3 emulator for the PS5?
Yes.
We're literally talking about that right now. Push Square. Push Square. Yes.
Yes.
Yes is the answer to your question.
Yeah, absolutely. And while we're at it, let's do an original Game Boy.
Fuck it. Why would... Ugh, God damn it. Nintendo, you have the shit. They're even more nostalgic than PlayStation.
Right. Like, that's what you do. Why can't a Switch do, Game Boy stuff?
Right.
And if you want to be really fancy with it, do what the Master Chief Collection did, where you can toggle it back to the original graphics. If you, in any remaster, always do that. Always do that.
That was cool.
Next topic. Anyway, 15 quid for an emulator, and then you put up like original God of Wars, you put up Final Fantasies and whatever the frick.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So down.
Yeah. Let's do it, man. Come on. The next topic is more like the final topics. We're going to combine 2 together.
Cool.
There's been news from people in like China and stuff like that, manufacturing companies, that there is a shortage of semiconductors.
Yeah.
Which is going to cause delays in all kinds of electronics, things like computers, phones, importantly to us, games consoles. Now, we are fortunate we've got the PS5, we've got our next generation console, we're happy, we're surviving, we're good. But there are shortages of PlayStation 5s and Xbox Ones, Xbox Series X's out there. And some of our guys in the chat right now, the guys watching the video, they can't get one. And unfortunately, it looks like the manufacturers can't keep up with the demand for all of the semiconductors, so it's just going to get worse and worse.
Do we think that's going to be good or bad for stock prices?
Of Sony?
Well,
of
what about like Nvidia and things like that, right? Anything gaming related, let's see.
It's got to be bad, right? Because then they can't produce the product they need to sell, even if they got
high
a banger
demand.
product.
Demand's good, right?
High demand is good, that is true. But is it demand that you... But if it's demand you can't meet...
Well, that's true.
Like, not meet as in like, oh, we're producing maximum amount so that without any sort of limitations, but we still can't get to that demand. It's more like we can only produce 10% of what we normally do. By the way, this isn't horse pee. This is just...
It's Mama June's peach tea.
Oh my God, let me look at the guy in the wheelchair. Bloom.
Yeah, how she figures that out?
Yeah, why does she think that he's got a... Anyway, we're not...
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say maybe it might be an investment opportunity, but Microsoft's at like $330, so no, I'm not going to like...
£10, please.
Yeah, like a tenner's worth of Microsoft, please.
No, the main thing that this relates to us is that obviously people aren't going to get their consoles, which sucks. It's going to take a little bit of time for people to catch up. Might even extend to the end of this year. But also, we were saying that maybe God of War should be a next-gen exclusive.
It should, no. God of War should be a next-gen exclusive. It actually, I would say it needs to be, because then we can get the DS5 integration, 3D audio, all that stuff.
Exactly.
It's not a good business move to leave out 100 million consoles of your top-selling game, realistically the best game ever made. it doesn't make any sense. You
Exactly.
But how bad is that game gonna be? That's probably a bad way to put it.
Yeah.
How different is that game gonna be
when it has the limits of the previous gen console?
Right.
And that's the thing. We were saying that it should be a PlayStation 5 exclusive. But how do you say all of you guys who want a PlayStation, you can't play this game right now? Everyone who wants to play this game, you can't, because you can't get the console. Not because you won't buy the console, but because you can't get the console. That's a shitty thing to say to people, isn't it?
So,
and it's probably something the PlayStation don't want to do.
As of February, the beginning of February, they had it's 4.5 million PS5s.
Mm-hmm.
How do you tell 105 million other people who love your console and love the games that go on it that, sorry guys, it's PS5 only?
Exactly.
Which it should be. And even when I was one of the guys that didn't have a PS5, I was saying this stuff. Or I happened to be one of the lucky few.
For the benefit of the game, we would like it to be an exclusive to the next generation console, so it could fully harness the power and be the best it can be. But then if no one gets to play the game, then that's a disservice to the game as well.
The best game never played isn't the best game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It may be like, oh yeah, Game of the Year awards, yeah. And by then there's only 10 million people that have a console.
Right.
You know?
Which, don't get me wrong, God of War 4 is an incredible game, and it's not in any way diminished by the fact that it was one of the last great games of the PS4.
Yeah.
And so it's not that PS4 can't run it or couldn't, and also if you have a day of release PS4, you need to clean that thing out. It will run it so much better, I'm telling you.
Run it through a Hoover, you know.
Oh my God. Yeah, I was getting... Before we did mine... Yeah, because you suck way harder than a Hoover.
Exactly.
Before we did mine, it was getting all this weird like rubber banding, and I was like, what's going on? It was because everything was heating up.
The GPU was clogged, boy.
But like, it makes a world of difference, and it will run like new.
Yeah.
And it's not that that will be a bad way to play the game. It's that it will be so much better to play it on PS5. I think we said this, as long as the versions are functionally developed as different games, it will be okay.
Yeah.
And I think they should do that. I think they should make the game so it plays exactly like God of War 4, just that when you finish at the end screen, you continue, right? But that the PS5 version, I should say, has all like the haptic feedback with everything. It has the 3D audio. It's designed that way to be that way, and that the PS4 one isn't turned down. It's designed to run on the PS4.
That's the way it should be made.
Right.
And the thing is that I would feel like first-party games, PlayStation games and Xbox games, would fully utilize each one of their own consoles, because it's essentially an advertisement for their own console to how great it is. But third-party developers just won't do that.
No, they won't.
That's why there is hope that at least if the God of War does come out for last gen systems. I need to say last gen and current gen, because people say next gen. I'm like, we're in next gen.
Yeah,
we're in it now.
We're in it. It's just there aren't very many out there.
Exactly. If I think PlayStation would do it. I think PlayStation would do it. They'd make a PS5 version and make a PS4 version, and they would be entirely separate things. They would just follow the same story beats. That's what I think would happen. I'm
looking at medium gameplay right now.
Oh, yeah?
It looks really good, actually, I gotta say.
I think it looks pretty good as well.
I want to be very clear. Visually, it looks really good. I've no idea. I'm just skipping through a bit.
What are those camera angles? Sorry, I can see it through the monitor.
Yeah, there's some weird ones. I would say the visual storytelling of this so far, unless it's the guy's controller because it's muted, I don't know, is a bit awkward, and she's going a bit fuzzy here. But this reminds me of old school Resident Evil, by the way.
I was gonna say, the Resident Evil, to me, who's never played a Resident Evil game, the old school ones, it always looked like it was security camera angle.
Oh, you get a lot of that. You do get a lot.
And you're like in a corner of a room, and then he walks by that way, and I'm like, what the hell is this?
It is kind of cool because it's supposed to creep you out.
You guess you have to play it to get creeped out, right?
Yeah, and that was back. I don't know, as I've got older, I don't like scary stuff as much because there's enough shitty stuff in the world. Do you know what I mean? Like, I deal with enough. Oh, her hair's white in it.
I just look out my window and then that's good.
See, this looks quite interesting, actually. And I just wish they would go a little bit harder with it. Because it looks like it's really leveraging the Xbox. This makes the Xbox, the hardware, look actually really good.
Yeah.
I want a good story, though. Everything we've heard of Medium is that like it's a cool concept, it's a meh game.
That's what it seems to be. Yeah.
Actually, what's the Metacritic for Medium? I'm not picking on Medium. I want to be very clear. I'm just using it as the only game that I know of that's only on the next gen, the current gen Xbox, and it's designed to only be there and to work. Ooh.
Here we go.
So, do you think that
71?
That's not as bad as I was thinking, but it's not
too bad.
It's not good.
That's the thing.
It's not great.
I find like a lot of Xbox games are like around about the between to 5 to 7 range out of 10. You need some bangers. You need some ones that just go, oh, that's the one, boys. And I don't mean Microsoft Flight Simulator. They need which was a great game apparently, but it's different.
What are some of the ones that we think of as like PlayStation exclusives? See what their Metacritic. Forget Persona and God of War. Think like, or even Horizon. Think about like those.
Uncharted 4.
What about like
93?
This is just us searching stuff now.
Yeah, we are. This is what this podcast.
What was the other topic?
The other topic was basically that the Nintendo Switch 2/Pro, whatever it is still rumored to be coming out. There's lots of rumors circulating.
That would be interesting.
Now they're saying that they're going to have a special NVIDIA chip in there that's going to harness the new technology that's in those RTX cards.
Yeah.
This DLSS thing, so it's like more frames per second.
Yeah.
Which is really, really cool and sounds super awesome. However, with the whole semiconductor shortage that's happening at the moment, how many can they make? And you know, it's going to be tough to get one of those even.
Yes.
But it sounds really cool with the OLED screen and stuff like that.
Yeah, the semiconductor is going to be really awkward because it's one of those weird parts that no one really thinks of. Like, this isn't a shortage of graphics cards like there was when everybody was trying to mine crypto. Yeah. Right? Now,
it's like down to the bare components. Right. You don't think about it.
Just as a little bit of like a heads up, a nod to Medium. Yeah. I just checked out the score for the Order 1886, which is a 63 from the critics and a 6.7 from the users.
That's a good point here.
Actually, it's a decent game. Yeah. It's not bad. It just, you know, I've mentioned my beefs with it. I'm just trying to see what is it that Xbox needs to, what?
Days Gone, exact same number, 71. That's not a 7 out of 10 game. That's not a 7 out of 10 game.
Interesting.
I will tell you that right now. Yeah. That is an 8.5 out of 10 game. That is what that is. And I would put it a little bit higher, but I'm telling you what a realistic score should be. That should be an 8.5 out of 10.
Did Dead Space
that's what the users say, 8.3.
Was Dead Space only on the Xbox? Dead Space 2? No, it did come out across both platforms. I think, because this is the thing, is I'm trying to find games that aren't God of War that Xbox could set their like sights at and go, okay, we need to make a game as good as this, right? Yeah. Not just for visuals, because I think Medium looked good, but it needs to have like that banging first, what am I talking about? Third person character driven RPG. Yeah. It just needs a few, you know, to get there. And because they do have the backwards compatibility thing. Yeah. It's funny, isn't it? We said backwards compatibility, or the idea that they won't bring out almost any first party games that can only be played on the Series X, is a bad move. But as it's turned out, that was not such a bad move. Yeah. But I do think we'll look back on it when we get to like 2030, and we'll look back and say, yeah, 2020 to 2023, where they never made games that could only be played on the Series X, held the generation back just that little bit more than it needed. I do also hope that in 2030 we have both. Yeah. You know, that we're like, these things lasted so well, they were so good, we had to pick up both. Yeah. And Xbox finally realized that they could tell a good story. And you know what I mean? Like, shit. I'm going to find best-selling Xbox games. Are we done for things?
For topics, we are. I was going to read out a comment that we have on the Patreon over here. Joe McCormack writes into patreon.com/conversations, just like you guys can by being a patron at the $1 level. And he says, oh, sorry, my friend.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Thank you very much. He says, hey, dudes, hope you're both keeping well. Well, we're doing fantastic right now.
We're doing really good.
Haircuts right here. That's what we're doing. Just wondering what got you guys into gaming? Like, how did the journey start for you? I was introduced properly by my grandpa, who showed me Zelda when I was 6 or 7. And from then, I've really been hooked. Zelda has always been that heightened importance in my life because of my grandpa. And I think it's pretty cool that he introduced me to those games. That's really awesome, actually.
That is very cool.
Your grandpa, that's really quite cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah. What got you into gaming? Some Twitch streamer was it?
I want to say Nintendo. I think my earliest gaming, other than like arcades, is like Nintendo stuff. But it's a very weird transition because also then very close to that is the PS1, which is where I really kicked off with like Tekken and playing Final Fantasy and like jamming with my brother, like switching out every time we died, that kind of thing. Yeah. But I think the first thing was probably the Game Boy with Pokemon. Yeah. Pokemon really kicked things off for me where I started to care about gaming and stuff. Although it was at a weird time because I couldn't read or write when I was a kid. You know, I've told the story. Yeah. It was I could, by the time you would say I could read or write, I was maybe like 14, and I wasn't actually caught up to where you're supposed to be until I was like months before I was doing my GCSE. So I was like halfway through year 11 by the time I could like read and write at the age of a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
So I couldn't read what was going on in Pokemon, but like everybody else seemed to have really good fun, and I learned like, okay, well, and given enough time, I would work out that that's his attack, but I couldn't just be like, oh, cool, attacks, right? It took me a fair. It was like the cat sat on the mat, right. Yeah. And I would skip past a lot of the written stuff. Like, look, I know you're the gym leader, and I need to battle you, right?
That's need to important information.
That's also the reason that I didn't go through the Zubat cave with Flash.
Oh yeah,
because I didn't know.
Because you didn't know, because you have to read that.
I didn't know.
Damn, I didn't think about that.
My brother said, just do this, just give it the Flash thing. And I was like, okay. And couldn't then read enough on the screen to figure out what to do or how to use it, how to give it in. So that, and then my dad, because my parents divorced when we were young, he got a Nintendo.
You're a broken child, we get it.
Exactly. In fairness, it's a broken home, not a broken child.
It's true, it's true.
So he got a Nintendo, an N64, and bought a bunch of games that I think he intended to play.
Right. And
just never got around to it because he's a busy guy.
Yeah.
But because he was busy, you know, he'd be doing work or whatever, and me and my brother would have nothing to do. So he bought like GoldenEye, Mario.
It fell on you to hold up the house of gaming.
Right, exactly.
There you go.
So playing like Mario Kart 64, playing GoldenEye, Star Fox, if anybody remembers that. Do a barrel roll.
These are hitting me hard right here. I like it.
So those were the games that sort of got me into it, because it was that, or bearing in mind TV you had like 4 channels. When Channel 5 came out, it was a big thing.
So whoa!
Remember there are 5 channels now.
25% more channels.
Right, and most of it was freaking news or EastEnders. I didn't care about that. I was like 7 years old. Or watching the same movies that we'd already watched, or Dad didn't have the good ones or whatever, right?
And we didn't have sperms in the chat now that are really calling us
right.
boomers.
right. And then Mum we got for Christmas, I think either we both got one or combined we got a PS1. And then we played, you know, like Final Fantasy and Tekken and shit like that. So weirdly, I guess you could say like my family, but mainly it was so that they didn't have to babysit us. You know, it's like so we would babysit ourselves playing Star Fox.
That was parenting back in the day.
Right.
Like parenting nowadays is just to give your phone to a child and then just walk away.
Yeah, not for us.
Not it
was a console.
Us. It was a console, guys.
Yeah. What about you?
My mum actually got me into this. Now this is really strange because my mum isn't a gamer.
No.
And my mum wouldn't associate I wouldn't associate her with the games.
No.
In fact, if she was to catch me playing games today, she'd probably do the typical mum things like, when are you going to do something with your life? And I'm like, Mum, I'm a 31-year-old guy. I have my own business and I've got a YouTube.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like, this is really... I'm living in my own house. What the fuck? When we get my life together?
Yeah.
She's just one of those typical mums, right? But she bought, and I don't know why she bought it because I was too young to know.
Yeah.
She bought a Super Nintendo.
Okay.
And had Mario World on it. And she would play it in our room, me and my brother's room that we shared, every day. And we'd watch. And then every now and again, we'd jump on it, but we didn't know what the hell was doing. We're just hitting buttons and whatnot. But that's how you learn as a kid.
Yeah.
And I'm like, now thinking back, I'm just like, my mum was playing Super Mario World, and she did she know did she know anything about Mario? Does she know anything about games?
I feel like no one did though, because they were brand new, right?
Right.
And the games then didn't really. not many of
992
them
or something like that.
Not many of them did like storytelling.
Yeah.
You know, you just sort of, you play this guy who wears red,
Yeah.
and you run and you jump on this thing. Or like Sonic doesn't, the original Sonics, they don't have a story.
No.
You just run around the maps and you get
Collect
different
rings.
maps. Yeah, you
Yeah.
get different maps. That's all you do.
Yeah.
How weird is that?
And it's just so strange. All
All your gaming memories end up with your mum, because it was you're out with your mum when you found your PS2, right?
Yes.
Which you found.
That's true. Yeah. So my mom basically is the reason why I'm here today with the True Gamer podcast, because she got me into gaming.
That's
and then
right.
she carried on my gaming.
Yeah.
So, do you know what?
You were all
So
too
strange.
Yeah.
Strange.
That's funny.
My mum, as I said, not the kind of woman that you'd ever associate with any sort of gaming.
Yeah.
Typical like Karen mum, just to be
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't know anything. And somehow she was the one that got me into it. Don't know how that worked out there.
That's funny.
That was a nice little
I'm trying to think,
conversation.
are there any other like obscure gaming memories you got? What about before you were gaming? So like I remember my dad had this one, I cannot remember what it was, but like PC game wasn't really, I mean it was a game but like not much. You basically, it was like a weird alien helicopter thing.
What game was that?
It's obscure.
Okay.
And I mean like more obscure than that Tai Feng thing, right? And you just sort of, he had the joystick thing for it.
Right.
And that to me was super cool. It was like a fighter pilot, you know?
Oh my God.
Yeah, but the game was shit. It was not good. But I remember like watching him play it and then wanting to play with the joystick. And this is at a time where my hands were so small that it was like move and then move around to shoot, you know, hold it, like very small kid.
Yeah.
So have you got any like weird, like super obscure memories like that?
There was one, I don't know what the game was as well. It was kind of like Pac-Man, but it wasn't Pac-Man.
Okay.
For sure it wasn't Pac-Man.
Okay.
Maybe it was a Pac-Man ripoff or something like that. But it was on like...
Unpack Man.
Unpack the Man. It was like you said, on a PC. It was on an old school PC that used to like load like a floppy disk.
Floppy
into
disks.
and
Yeah.
whatnot.
By the way, so we are too young to know. Do you know why originally floppy disks are called floppy disks?
Why?
Because when we had them, they were hard.
They were, yeah.
Because the original ones were floppy. They were like, you know, that things the teacher used to put on the projector
Yeah.
that they would write on, and then you know the see-through things. They were like that.
And then they just upgrade. They were
Right.
like, let's
That's
not
why
make
they
these
were
floppy
floppy,
anymore.
right? And then they upgraded to be like a full 12 megabytes or something.
Whoa, easy now.
But those were solid. And so we never considered why you would call them floppy disks. They didn't flop.
There
But
you
they were
go.
hard disks.
Hard disks now. And
Anyway.
they made the real hard disk.
Yeah.
It was one of those computers. And again, I don't know what it was. It was like Pac-Man, but it wasn't Pac-Man.
Yeah.
It was like some dog-looking thing, but it was essentially the same sort of thing. You go around, collect these dots, and things would chase you. That was my most obscure memory. But the thing is that it wasn't in England. It was in Cyprus when I used to go on holiday to meet family.
Yeah.
And I consider Cyprus as kind of like a few years behind us.
For sure.
So how they had that and we didn't have it over here, I don't know what was going on there. So maybe
One guy
gaming
in
is the only thing that they're advanced
in
in.
his epic man cave, and it's like one giant computer. And
I'm thinking that's the only thing that Cyprus is advanced in. They're just gaming. They were like, let's pick one thing to be great at. Gaming. There we go, guys.
yeah.
We're going to be known for that. There we go.
yeah, gaming and weather. That's it. That's all
That's
we got.
it. Two things.
Yeah.
Don't come in for anything else. We just can't help you. But yeah, that's really obscure right there.
That's kind of obscure. I'm hoping in the chat there's been people who's like, oh, when I was like 11, my dad said, when I was 5, my uncle gave me
like
this
last
thing.
year.
Yeah, last year.
We have one more comment
Okay.
from our boy Sean, hashtag Lady D Simp. He writes into our Discord server just like you guys can by clicking that link in the description. Help join the community. It's a really awesome place.
We forgot to pimp the Discord, but we got all the paying things up front, so we're good.
That's it. The suit of conversations said it's good, so
That's
it's
right.
good. He goes and writes, with Horizon Zero Dawn becoming free for everyone in April, how do you guys... So do you guys think... Oops, hit my mic there. Do you guys think there'll be a PS5 update if Horizon Zero Dawn ever gets one on the same day? Or do you think we'll just get the release date for Horizon Forbidden West around that same month? And who's this AI you're seeing on Saturday?
What?
Who's this AI I'm seeing on Saturday?
No idea what that means.
AI I'm seeing on Saturday. I'm seeing on Saturday.
No, did we say
Sean's
something on
going
the stream?
crazy.
Did we say something on the stream?
I think maybe Sean's losing it a little bit.
I mean, that's 100% true, but what
We may
AI?
have said something like that. I'm not sure.
I don't know, we chat a lot of shit.
We
don't
do chat a fuck ton of shit.
I'll
But
tell you this.
He also says
Oh, go
edit. Oh, no, let's say that first and then let's say the next bit.
even with Horizon Zero Dawn being free, I will put it in my library in case my girl ever gets good enough at games that she can walk and look around at the same time.
That's a big ask.
She just doesn't care about gaming, you know.
Yeah.
I'm never going to play it again.
Yeah.
I played it once and I gave it my version of playing it, so I played the whole freaking game.
Yeah. Side quest first, main quest after.
Exactly, that's the way you do it. I explored every corner of the map. I have no desire to play it even with any PS5 updates.
That's the thing. You didn't vibe with the game at all. The aesthetic you did, but the character.
Oh my god, the aesthetic's so good.
Did not make it for you. So I wouldn't imagine you.
The villains are pretty interesting as well.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of decent characters in there. Just the one I care about being good, which is Aloy, I found really underwhelming. But if Forbidden West comes out and Aloy has, you know, a personality. Then I'll be all about it because I really wanted to like that. I tried really hard to like it as well, to find all the positive points, and they just couldn't outweigh the negatives for me. But I love the aesthetic. I love the idea, and the fact that we're coming to a brand new world, a brand new section of the world that is might as well be an alien planet because it's had no human activity for thousands of years, right?
Yeah.
Plus the robo dinosaur vibe. Like, oh my god, does that look like it could be amazing?
Hopefully they make an improvement in that area.
I really hope so. But I'm not going to buy it off the bat. I'm going to wait for
me.
Do you know what? I might wait for someone a lot more cynical than you.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to give me a burn there. But
No,
wait for someone who's smarter than you.
No. Because for the record, I love that everybody else doesn't hate the game like I do.
Yeah.
Well, not hate the game, but, you know, like I love that so many people like Aloy and stuff.
Yeah.
For me, I don't think she has any character, but I like that everybody else liked it because I would love to like that game as well. What I want to do is find someone that just hated Horizon Zero Dawn who goes, actually, yeah, this game's not too bad. Aloy's a lot better.
And see if it turns them. Yeah.
And then I'll absolutely get it because oh my God, does it look good?
Yeah.
And forget the aesthetic as well because the aesthetic is good. But like it's running on a PS5, it looks so good.
It's likely to have a lot of the PS5 features and stuff like that.
Right, and the idea of, like you say, drawing the bow with the haptic, that's going to be amazing. The combat was very slick. Like there were great things about Horizon Zero Dawn. The combat was good. The aesthetic was incredible, you know? So they can take all of those good things, add in the PS5 update, you know, the haptic and stuff, and even if the story's meh, because who's the big bad now? I don't know. But
probably still Hades. He drifted off in the last thing.
But I mean, as long as Aloy has some character and shows some freaking wonder, then I'll be all about it. I really want to come out and be like the Forbidden West stan. You turned around. They turned you around. They turned you into the big guy for the game. As long as I can buy a ginger afro skin for Aloy, I'm in.
All about afros now.
Apparently.
I don't think we would get a PS5 update there, Sean. If it is possible, I get your logic, your reasoning there, because it's like Horizon Forbidden West is coming out. Get people to play the old one so get ready for the new one. But I don't think that you're looking at the buttons.
I've just noticed this. What is this?
Yeah, so if you plug it in by the USB instead, you can control the mic gain and mute and stuff like that down there.
Sick.
It is quite cool. It lights up and everything, but we don't XLR,
so you were answering Sean's question. I'm so sorry. I just noticed because you went like this and I looked at the mic and I was like, is that a mute? That is a mute button.
There's something on there.
Yeah.
I understand your logic. I understand your reasoning. The new game's coming out and it would promote the game, get people to play the old one so it'd be ready for the new one.
Yeah.
However, they haven't yet anyway. The Days Gone's coming out for PC and they're not giving those same sort of updates for the PS4 or PS5 version. And Horizon Zero Dawn has been out for PC and they haven't yet given the updates to everyone on PS5. I have the feeling that they're just going to leave it and not say anything, and then you just buy Horizon Forbidden West when it comes out. I'd like it to happen. I don't think it will, however. And then he says, edit. This is going to be an interesting one for us, bro.
Okay.
What do you think about Ember Labs, the guys who made Kenna Bridge of Spirits, saying Kenna is pronounced Kana?
They're going to get a slap.
It's going to be hard for me to start calling her Kana. The world crumbled around me when they told us the correct way. So Ben, the mother fricker Ben Fryer, the host of the Random Wavelength podcast, which everyone should go over there and boycott him. Just be like, we're not listening to your podcast. We're coming here to tell you we're not listening to your podcast.
Yeah, subscribe so you can always not listen.
Exactly, and then like the video, and then come out again. Leave it running in the background. Yeah,
I was gonna say, don't come out. That's actually really bad for analytics.
Don't come out. Stay in. Don't pull out. Stay in. He goes to them and is like, what's the correct way of saying it? And they replied to him saying it's actually pronounced Kana. And I just wanted to reply to them. I was like, so why didn't you spell it that way? This wasn't, we're going to say wall, but we pronounce it whale or something like that. It's not a word that's established. You had full control over the name.
Yeah.
And you could have done Kayna, but you didn't.
Yes.
So why did you spell it a different way?
Because look, if they'd have said it's actually Kina.
Yeah.
Okay. I can kind of see that. At least that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or if it's
a different way of saying E, isn't it?
Yeah, or if it's like a Kene. Weird, but like the letters are there.
Yes.
Those letters aren't there, mate.
That's just a gross error. That's just a gross error right there.
I'm going to find that tweet, and I'm going to tweet the most important thing, which is sucker punch. Why don't I have my 1v1 duels?
And we go back round to the real issue, guys. Sucker punch. Why have you not put 1v1 duels in Ghost of Tsushima? God. Oh, man.
Anyway, it's not Kana.
It's not Kana. You guys can go suck a dick right there.
Unless they really have some incredible voice actors saying it in a very natural way, I'm going to headcanon it back to Kana. Every time.
I'm going to buy the game. I'm going to buy it physically.
Yeah, of course.
And then when I get
it's only 30 quid.
It's true. It's quite cheap.
Yeah, hell's yeah, all day long.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy it. I'm going to play the game. As soon as I hear someone say Kana, I'm going to take the case. I'm going to get a Sharpie. I'm going to cross out E. And it's going to be AY.
Yeah.
So I'm going to correct their spelling mistake that they've done on the
and on the case as well. Yeah.
Tweet it to them and be like, guys, I corrected your spelling mistake on the case.
There's a printing error.
Printing error, guys. You guys really fucked this up. It's actually in the artwork for the game as well. If you want, I can digitally change that for you as well.
You should be like, I actually did it.
I actually did it for you guys. Here's the new artwork. Yeah. You fricked up.
And just make it like a...
Bastards.
Like a kid, you know?
God damn it, this is so dumb. Oh,
I hate that. The worst thing is because obviously they made it. It is totally their choice how you say it. It's a brand new character, it's a different language of a name, you know?
Yeah.
But you're saying it in our alphabet.
Yeah.
Spell it in our alphabet. Also, we haven't heard Kana Bridge of Spirits.
Yeah, I've listened to it, and people say they've heard it, but what they heard was the PlayStation announcer saying it. When in the game, I swear I heard someone say Kenna.
I feel like I heard Kenna.
Yeah, but do you know what this is? I wrote it down as well. I think it was Juicy Spicy Sauce. I was replying to those messages, and he was like, I was like, this is like saying your name is. And I just mashed the keyboard, a bunch of random letters, and they go, but it's pronounced David.
Have you? Yes. Yeah.
And then he just like, hello, and then he just copied that what I
Mate,
smashed.
Do you know what you should
keyboard.
do? You should name. I'm gonna name my first kid PENLMNOP, Penelope.
PEMN.
Because you know everybody goes
right.
Penelope.
That's true. There you go.
Penelope.
There you go. That's Penelope.
Penelope. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. There's this one guy. Have you ever, sometimes I'm on TikTok. There's this one girl that's been trending at the minute who does an incredible seagull impression.
Yeah.
I will send you it.
Yeah.
And if she does it, it's like she's just gone full keyboard. Mash. Okay, that's
the name.
How you speak seagull.
That's the name, boys.
It looks like there's 15 unknown Pokemon just on the screen. They're just all unknowns. That's genuinely what it looks like. You'll see it.
Yeah, actually, I just pulled up the tweet and whatnot. I'm just looking at it. It's like, thank you for asking to clarify the pronunciation of Kenna's name. It's pronounced K-na. A heart. I was like, don't you fucking heart. No.
Yeah, you take that heart back.
You take it back.
I'm going to specifically not unblock the Bridge of Spirits. What if that really is this game story and I accidentally just guessed it when I was making it up? You know, I said like...
Oh, about like it's a bridge of spirits that you have to
like
cross.
To get into the afterlife or something and something's blocked the whatever.
And you have to unblock it. Whoa.
Yeah, like...
Honestly, when you said it, I was like, that sounds like the pitch for the game.
I mean, it could be. I've done it a few times, but like, I will really be upset if I did that for Kenna and took it. Because like a lot of those movies where I'm like, okay, I've seen the trailer, this is the story, and I'm right.
I know what it is.
It's movies I'm never going to see.
Yeah.
I really want Kenna Bridge of Spirits to be good.
I do too.
It's going to suck when we start calling it Kana.
I will not. I'm telling you, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna make if I ever make any videos on it as well. But so Kenna, Bridge of Spirits. Is,
yeah.
Good. And people are like, sorry, what game? What game? I don't know.
Talking of that, after this, we've got the movie club or streamcast for Justice League.
Yes.
In between that, we should talk about that new video we're gonna make. We should work out some shots for that. I think you'll. Yeah. We need some secret. What's super secret? Like the Pink Panther. Yeah. We'll work out some of the shots for that.
Yeah, boy. Yeah. We don't have another comment, although Real Comment Cinema did write in with something, but I want to make this our topic for the next show.
Okay.
Providing the world doesn't explode with gaming news like it usually does sometimes.
It normally does. It will normally wait until we're 2 days past, you're doing busy family stuff, I'm in the middle of a shift at work or something, and then boom.
Boom. Explosion, everything.
All the stuff, and then everybody will tweet us, hey, you should make a video on this. Yeah, we will on Thursday. It's Saturday now.
Because we're not huge YouTubers. We're just sitting around waiting to make content. We've got shit.
We did work out at least my minimum amount. If we can get to me bringing in £1,000 a month, I can cover all of my expenses.
With everything we're doing, just bring it all
Assuming there's no like the car breaks down or anything. I can run on £1,000 a month. So
Real Comment Cinema writes in and he says, does anyone still care about Cyberpunk 2077? I kind of forgot it existed. And I wanted to have a conversation about how we feel about Cyberpunk 2077 and what the frick is going to happen in the future. Do we think anything will come back? But I want that to be our topic for the next show. So if any of you guys want to write in with that stuff, feel free to write in the comment section. We'll read those comments out. Speaking of comments, we were saying about games, people buying Xbox Series X's for Bethesda games.
Yes.
Will it really change the needle? We said it would change it just a little bit, but not so much. A few people did write into our last podcast and saying, I ordered a Series S just in case. Bethesda does put out some great games, some really great games. So that's why I bought an Xbox.
Yeah.
And one guy said, I bought an Xbox Series X a few weeks ago. Loving it, he says. How's the Series S? So some people do.
I hope the S is good and is doing good for you. And I think it will play third-party games just fine. You know, the real difference between them is the first-party stuff. And I think the first-party titles, you got to give it to the PlayStation for the last, 4 generations?
Yeah.
Well, arguable in the PS3 because of Halo and stuff. But PS4, PS5, 100% you got to give it to the PlayStation. Yeah. But really for the PS5, it's things like that haptic feedback. But for third-party titles, you're not getting that for the most part. COD has it, doesn't it? Has the triggers?
I think so. Yeah, it does.
But most of them aren't gonna.
Yeah.
So that's fine, and I hope the Xbox does really well for you. I do. The question is, right? Let's say you are going to get something in case a really good Bethesda title comes out. It's only on the Xbox, or in case Fable's really good.
Mm-hmm.
What would you get? There's 3 options, right? Before we end the podcast, you can get the X, the S, or the Xbox One. Let's say you didn't have one, the Xbox One S.
Yeah.
Would you get the one, the last generation's flagship model? Would you get the Series S, which is like the current generation, phone it in, or the Series X, like the current flagship? What would you get? Assuming you didn't have your Xbox, which if stuff comes out, I might just borrow your Xbox One. I don't think you're playing Fable, right?
I have the top of the line MacBook.
Yes.
We've bought almost top of the line microphones.
Yep.
I've got the latest iPhone. I've got a fairly nice-ish car that I drive.
Streaming rig.
I've got a nice TV downstairs. I had to
Good
get
cameras.
a PS5 day one. There's a trend here.
Well,
I like to have the best of things.
No. Hold on. The audio, the cameras, the Mac.
True.
The streaming rig. All of that's future-proofing the channel.
It's true.
So that's not... Although I know for a fact you would have got the Mac, the camera, the phone anyway.
Exactly.
But it does future-proof like the audio. This needs to be here.
Exactly. I mean, my chair, my gaming chair. Frivolous purchase, I would say.
I think that's fair.
But it's probably one of the best chairs out there.
It looks incredible. The chair is way better than the game.
It's true.
By a mile. Yeah.
And I buy collector's editions of stuff and whatnot. I like to have the best of things. If I was to buy an Xbox, I'd have to be sold on it, and there'd have to be a genuine reason for me to get it. I probably would go for the X. Now, a lot of people probably wouldn't, especially if they know, okay, there's only going to be 1 or 2 games that come out.
Yeah.
I'm the kind of guy that buys it for that one game and then it sits and collects dust on the side, which is stupid. You shouldn't do that.
Well, also,
if you've got multiple reasons, then buy it.
The funny thing is,
I'm the idiot that
you're
does
also
that.
the guy that sells stuff to get the new stuff.
Yeah,
but you wouldn't sell it until you're getting rid of it.
Yes.
Which is the funny thing, where it would have lost most of its value. Interesting. Because I get the idea of buying the Series S just in case. Now, our friend Harry spent like £1,000 on a clear see-through Nintendo 64, and it came like yesterday, and he set up. He's super happy with it.
So there was like 1,900 those ever made or something like that?
Yeah, it's the rarest Nintendo 64 you can get, other than like the full see-through version, which they made like 5 of or something, which is £100,000. I might be inclined to get an Xbox One with like one of the 6 skins that came with it. Yeah, you know, because they did do a few copies of that. I might be inclined to get it because it was cool and lose a bit on the gaming side of things, which is funny because I'm all about FPS. But anyway, that's an interesting topic. I don't know why I asked, and knew the answer was going to be the X. You have to get the top of the line because
you know me.
You have to get the top of the line, don't you? Why not?
Guys, thank you all for joining us for another episode of the True Gamer Podcast. I do want to also give an apology right at the end because I know no one will probably hear it. Last week's episode where the audio for the first 45 minutes wasn't there and we were using our camera microphone. That was really unfortunate. Sorry about that. But as I said in the announcement just before, it is Sheps' fault.
It's totally my fault. I thought you were going to apologize about Tyler ruining the Streamcast episode.
Oh my God, the guy's like,
I thought it was on Skype.
I'm gonna record in the Amazon rainforest. Rain.
You know how we were beefing out Skype?
Yeah.
I was like, while we were recording, because I did hear some distortion. I'm like, it's Skype's shit, but he's recording his own audio. It'll be fine.
It'll be better over there.
Come to the Streamcast. Oh my God. Especially because we did this and that. Like, I don't know if you guys can see it, but that sound deck is huge and you learn how to use it all properly. Like, audio is a big deal to us, despite my not using the microphone properly 90% of the time.
I bet it'll be good this time.
I hope so. We fixed these. Normally, it's a hardware issue. This time, with the microphones not working, it was the soft idiot over here.
Software issue.
Yeah. It was the soft squishy bit between my ears. But hopefully the audio will sound good because we care about that stuff. And Tyler,
motherfrickers, come into our channel and
straight on on all of our plans.
Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning into another episode of the True Gamer Podcast. Yes. It's really awesome that you support us this way. We will catch you guys all very soon again. The upcoming schedule is on the weekend. There will be a Conversations podcast that will be coming out for you guys. There will also be a streamcast over on the 4 Pillars Network for the Justice League Part 1 that we're doing here. And then on Tuesday, there will be another streamcast for the Falcon and Winter Soldier. Right. We've got a shit ton of content coming out.
With Twitch streams on twitch.tv/conversations like scattered in there in between.
Exactly. I think Sunday my missus wants to do another Resident Evil stream, so that'll be another one like that. So that's all to come.
Mate, we're a trio now. We're quartet. Right? Because Isla will carry the weight for our crappy content, and then sometimes your missus wants to play scary. Make her do PT.
The real thing is that what we need to do is I need to set her up to become a Twitch streamer, and then I can just cash in off of those
the low cut tops, the teasing and OnlyFans.
I don't know how I feel about whoring out my daughter.
I was talking about your missus, bruv.
Oh, okay, that's
what are you talking about?
Oh, sorry, I'll do that.
Yeah.
I was talking about Isla. I was like, I'm going to train her.
You said my missus. I swear you said my missus. Did I say my missus? I swear you did.
Maybe I did.
Because there's no way. No one's going. Mate. We had this argument before. I was willing to break a doctor's knees because he said Isla wasn't perfect. Like, do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I'm down.
I'm gonna try and train Isla so she can take over the Twitch mantle when she gets older. And then she just becomes a Twitch streamer. And then I just sit back and I'm like, sweetie, you gotta go and stream. Yep, I know. You're gonna play some Pokemon. Don't worry about it.
Gotta go down the mines to the coal mines, isn't it? Yeah.
It's a tough life, but you gotta go down them coal mines and do it. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in for another episode. We will catch you guys all in the next one. Thank you so much, bros.
We'll see you in the next one.
Good boy.
We need to work on outros. Did you just say good boy in Australia? Good boy.
Good boy, lads. Good boy. Fucking.
I'm Steve Irwin.
This
kangaroo looks really calm right now. Let's go piss him off.
Let's go piss him right off, right? They only get annoyed if you poke him with a stick. So let's go poke him with a stick and see what happens. Crikey, me arm.